Good evening, and welcome to Oxford's Ashes, a modern-day Vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in the British city of Oxford. Already awakened for the night is Barry of Clan Nagaraja, played by Noskavian. Rami of Clan Hakata, played by Space. Ebony of Clan Ventry, played by Softonomicon. Hatfield of Clan Brujar, played by Daybreakathon. Acheron of Clan Zemitzi, played by the Rissa Rave. And last, and never at all least, is Slip of Clan Nosferatu, played by this very sexy Vamp Daddy. We begin where we left off last week. Slip has been able to finally evade his captor that was slowly deconstructing his very being. Perhaps fortunately for Slip, he will never know just how close he came to having every single living thing about him erased. Gathering himself up to stand with his coterie and face down this unknown man standing before them all. Strangely confident and sure of himself given he is outnumbered, without hesitation or waver in his voice, his hands clasped together behind his back, the man says through a twisted smile, "Shame, you would have been a valuable, useful asset within the tower."
Tower? What do you mean the tower?
The Ivory Tower. Your Camarilla.
You're gonna trick me out, send me back? I gotcha.
Or maybe a great snake coils around your precious tower right now, slowly suffocating it, waiting until it can be consumed. Or perhaps just the idea is enough to make the paranoid tower eat itself whole.
Probably, actually.
And yet this
That
is the
sounds about right.
organization you choose to be with?
Yeah.
You could come and join us instead.
You made me throw up.
Sorry, Slip, what did you say?
No, I don't think that's gonna work out. See, we've been mopping you guys up left and right every night since we got here. Nah, I'm good.
Shame. You miss out on so much. The Ministry, the Church of Set, two heads of the same body, two minds, one agenda, one a face to the world, another the face behind the mask. The man's speech is suddenly cut off by an ear-splitting explosion that tears through the room and is almost instantly followed by the sight of the man's head exploding. Pieces of skull, bone and vitae fly out in spectacular fashion, saturating the walls and ceiling with vitae. Even an eyeball blasts out and hits Hatfield's chest, impacting with the kindred and falling to the floor, followed swiftly by an eerie, heavy silence. Is there anyone at Hunger 4? What you all like to do?
What the fuck?
I did not do that.
I think from Acheron there's immediate drop to the floor. That probably gives away some indication of just how long they've been alive. The idea of bombs going off in London is not too, in England is not too foreign to them. And so they sort of drop down, and it takes them a minute. But then, is the body still there? It's just sort of the head that's sort of exploded off.
Yeah, this guy turned to ash.
Okay, so Acheron will immediately scuttle forward on the floor and begin to search the body.
Yeah, you'll find a wallet with a good amount of cash in it, but there's no driver's license, nothing, nothing that would be identifiable. This is all very much, cash in hand, ask no questions, get no answers kind of thing.
Understood. Takes cash, hands it to, probably I'm still near Slip, so hands it to Slip. I'm going to get up. Is there a desk in the room?
We'll say if there is a desk in the room, I have kicked it very angrily, teeth bared, tense, frustrated I did not get to tear anybody limb from limb.
Yes, so there is a desk in the room. Wonderful. I'm going to go to the desk. I'm going to start to rip open drawers. I'm looking for information on this person and possibly information on why their head just exploded, because it seems very important to know.
You open this drawer and you start rummaging through, and it's all these different papers, portraits, resume, CV kind of things, and then eventually you find one of these papers. It has got portrait of this guy on it, and you start reading it over, and it's like Fred Stevenson and all these details and stuff. And you read it over, and as you pass over, you notice that the next sheet along, same portrait, completely different name, completely different set of information. Look through another, same portrait, completely different set of information, and so on and like that. And it's all grouped together like this. You notice it. Each of these portraits, series of collection of probably false information for each one.
Is there
right? And oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask if there's like any remnants of like an explosive device.
No.
Okay. All right.
But I'll tell you what, Rami. Would you prefer wits and awareness or intelligence and investigation with a +1 from Acheron?
We do investigation. Why not?
I know Acheron's got a dot in investigation, so please go ahead.
I do.
That's fine, Rami.
Okay.
Rami, as you look over, you're looking for traces of some sort of, contained, controlled explosive. Instead, however, you find one of the walls opposite very, very small, out-of-place notch in the plank of wood. It's one of those things that if you're just passing over casually, which you would because it's a wall, you just think it's a notch. But this is out of place, and you just push it, tap it through. And then you see that's exactly perfect place, perfect position for a large gun barrel.
I see. It was a hit. I showed the information of like false identities to the group. The portrait of the man, is it the same man who just lost his head, or a different man?
You do, if you want to find his one, you will find his, group of his papers in there. Yeah.
So, okay, so it's just a lot of them have been sort of just changing out identities throughout.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Acheron, you've got enough experience to recognize this is part of a collection of false identities. This is for easy, quick pickup of a new identity.
So amongst sort of these portraits of information, 2 questions: do I recognize any of the faces in the portraits, or are any of the identities linked to Banu Hakim, that are linked to anyone who would have gone missing?
Do wits and awareness for me, please.
Yeah, all right.
Sticking with it?
No, you know what? In this case, I'm going to do a willpower reroll, and I am going to get rid of that 4 and that 5. So 3 in total.
Yeah. A couple of these faces, you vaguely remember, and you're casting your mind back, and you're desperately trying to place it. You've got this face. Where was this place? It was large. It had an open space. There are a few other people there that you don't recognize. The gym. It was at the gym. Some of these people were staff members at the gym, just milling around. That's where you see them. That's why it was so hard for you to place some of these people. You didn't directly interact with them. You just remember some of these people were there. That's where you recognize them from.
Okay. Yeah, so I spread out these portraits and whatnot, and I will say to the group, this is what they've been doing with them. They've been removing their memories and recycling them, placing them in different locations, likely to spread their corruption. These few were at the gym. And seeing as he's just been taken out, clearly Someone doesn't want that information to be shared.
Slip's brain is still rebooting for the update, but he's just very mechanically, like, absently counting this money.
I feel Hatfield is still far too shaken to really be listening to any of this, and is low-key in the background demolishing the desk chair to vent some of the stress.
Right.
This is about 30 levels fucked up. Not expecting this. This was okay.
Life outside the
fuck?
church is rather daunting, is it not?
Well, they did want this person dead, and they're dead now, so.
Yes, but not by our hand.
True.
And likely whoever has taken them out has seen our faces. So,
Chair destruction noises intensify.
Perhaps we move quickly. We've got a lot to discuss. And I meaningfully look at Ebony and sort of with just the gesture of my head and indicate as I say, we have a lot to discuss. I'm including Hatfield, because things got a little weird in that other room. So perhaps for our safety and before more of the snakes arrive in the pit, we should go. And I'm gonna take those portraits and whatnot, and I'm going to put them in my bag so that way I have the information with me. And I'm going to is this guy wearing any rings? Something that would be identifiable by the Banu Hakim? So when I say he's dead, I have proof.
Yeah, he's got some gaudy gold ring. It's cliched with the snake on it, and you're just
wonderful.
Complete lack of imagination.
What you see from from Akron is that they take their finger and you hear a sickening crack and then a tearing of flash sound. They're taking the whole finger with the ring on, and they will also plop that into a little baggie in their big backpack. Right, let's go.
Couple of last crunch noises as the chair is wadded up.
You know, you crumple a paper. That's my brain. It's her crumpling up a chair.
Basically.
Yeah.
I didn't get to tear this man limb from limb. I have to do something.
I'm sorry.
I do not fault you. You did what you had to do. There's a lot. We can discuss it on the way back to the Haven.
Mm-hmm.
I think before we go to see the Banu Hakim, we should take a few moments to collect ourselves. Slip, are you all right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I think so. What were we doing again?
Oh, wonderful. He was rooting around in your brain, wasn't he?
Fucking probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well,
probably.
We came to kill him. You were kidnapped. So we came to get
by
you.
By choice, I think.
I was bait. I love that one.
You offered yourself as bait, and then we're sort of stalling until we got here, which was... Well, we would have been here faster if they hadn't had a bunch of obstacles in the way, but we got through it, learned a lot. Cain arrived. We can talk about... Not Cain, what's his name? Mithras.
Whoa! Sorry. Oh, okay. Still big, but less big.
Right, sorry. Getting blood gods crossed. Anyway,
right.
Mithras was here, and again, we'll discuss it on the way home.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't remember most of that, but damn, y'all succeeded, I think.
Well, in a roundabout way. And then
I knew you would. I knew you would, unless I don't remember things for a long time, then partial success.
You're doing great, and you know what? I think you can shake this. I don't think it'll be permanent. Anything you can't remember, we'll fill in.
Excellent. I trust you guys to definitely give me the correct information.
I mean, what's the last thing you remember?
That guy's head exploding, then fucking...
Before that, I mean...
Acheron gave me a bunch of money. I remember. Oh God, Mithras is here. He's killing us. Oh fuck. And then you guys got here like right afterwards, I think.
We've got a lot to download. Let's go. And I will guide, slip out.
All right.
Yeah. We'll leave this facility with the quickness back to the car.
Coven take their leave of the now seemingly deserted lodge and head back to their car. The faint red-yellow haze on the horizon hastens their journey back, and as they each take a seat inside and push the car beyond the speed limit as much as they dare to avoid the hated sun's rays, but also not to draw too much attention to themselves, they risk consuming time traffic stop. And as the car makes its way down the tree-lined and covered road, back to the dense city buildings of the city proper, and head towards your coterie haven, is there anything you'd like to talk about?
I will say
real,
that.
right? That couldn't have been real.
Well,
I was gonna ask, but
so 2 things. We are in Acheron's car, and so Acheron's cars, except for the very front windshield, the windows are tinted. So it obviously isn't gonna like save us if the sun fully rises, but it's like enough that these few rays that are starting to peek out won't be super dangerous to us. And then secondly, Acheron will take a moment and say, I think part of that was not real. However, given the circumstances, I think we should operate under the assumption that the Mithras part was real. As much as I hate to admit to the power of Mithras, he was no slouch. There's a reason he held this city in his grip for as long as he did.
Yeah, but when you said it wasn't real, and if I could think real hard and change reality, I tried eating that wall, and it did not work.
no one told you to eat the wall.
I think it's because of the way you chose to go about dealing with reality and what was not reality. Most times, people don't go chewing at the walls.
But I was believing really hard.
I believed in you too, Barry. I believed in you too.
See, that's we had belief.
Right. So what I meant was the illusion directly. For example, Mother Superior, not real. The only thing that made her real, Ebony. She was pulled from Ebony's mind. Everything that Ebony fears about her, everything that she admires about her, made her real. Hatfield has no real connection to Mithras, right?
Nod.
So that is, I think, the distinction. Your grandmother is real, you know, for Barry. This is a real person who he has emotional connection to and everything, who he interacts with on a constant basis. Her existence was real because of Barry, but Mithras...
I just don't agree with that, because I have nothing to do with Mithras, so...
Right. You don't.
So why was I mentioned that?
Well, again, Mithras is incredibly powerful, and it's not like he lacks little birdies to tell him information should he need it. I don't like to ever believe that elder kindred actually die. I think it's very foolish to believe that they do. They don't really ever go away. They're far too powerful to be taken out by simple methods. Mithras, incredibly powerful, with a lot of resources at his disposal, including the occult. So him being able to know things about you that you don't know about yourself, it's clear you don't know much about yourself, Romy.
I know enough to know that doesn't make any sense, and I don't believe it. And it feels like it's another thing that these were just all of our fears. I'm not afraid of Mithras. I don't really know enough. I'm afraid that who I am right now, as, you know, a doctor, as who I've been told I was, isn't true. So it makes sense to me that maybe these are just all of our fears, but I guess it could be more, but... I don't know.
The question is this, Romy. Even if who you were in the past was not a doctor, that you were up to other things with the Harbingers, that's not who you are now. So
I know,
does
but
it really
that's...
matter?
Well, yes, because that would mean everyone has been lying to me since I was embraced.
Oh, I would guarantee that.
Yeah,
I would
what the
guarantee
fuck?
that, absolutely.
That's definitely happening.
Kindred are not... Listen, the older the kindred are, quite frankly, the easier it is for them to lie, especially if you were a powerful resource. Perhaps you went rogue. Perhaps you did something you weren't meant to. And so rather than erasing you fully, keeping you in their grasp and useful, they simply do what that man in the ministry's building there tried to do to Slayer. Erased
Yeah,
you, gave you a new life, gave you a new identity.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the thing. Any kindred that is of sufficient age and status who's going to embrace someone is going to start lying to them for years in advance of actually even approaching them.
Mm-hmm. My sire ghouled me for 100 years and was my doctor for at least 5 or 6 years before that. The lies begin early, conditioning you to be what they want you to be. And when you don't follow the rules, but you have use, and they just hit the reset button. I would operate under the assumption you've been lied to from the start.
I don't want to believe that, so...
Oh, okay then.
All right.
Good. Yeah, that fixes
Look,
it now.
The biggest problem here is that the ministry is
My
clearly
grandma's
been
pretty honest.
I feel like that's a special case.
Well, we can talk about that at another time, I think.
I mean, the lady does
As
seem pretty
wonderful-
honest.
Look, as wonderful as your grandmother is, I don't think she's a fool. She's had to survive from her homeland coming to a new land and create something for you and your family. She's had to have lied at some point or another.
Oh, yeah. She's just honest to family.
Right. Maybe. Let's hope her honesty streak continues. To at least avoid disappointment on your end. I think it is safe for us to operate under the assumption that there's a lot more going on here than perhaps we expected. What with people getting their memories erased and being given new identities, it's clear with what they wanted to do at Slip. They're trying to insert ministry into the tower, which is incredibly dangerous, and also perhaps explains some of the recent attacks on the Camarilla itself.
Probably. And we have a pile of documents now, yes, that have people's multiple identities. We give that to the Banu Hakim, people who literally live and breathe chopping up other kindred or find an excuse to drink them, and they'll fucking sort that shit out real quick.
Yes, and at the end of the day, we get domain. I think we need to... We cannot afford to be at odds with each other. That is how I will phrase this. Things are far too complicated for us to be venturing out on our own with far too many secrets. I think we've had evidence enough how easy it is for people to take one of us and replace us with something else.
Yeah.
We cannot let this happen again. Also, we should discuss this obviously at length, but let's start now. Mithras wants Hatfield's body.
Yeah, why Hatfield?
Oh,
Actually,
quietly
why
crying out.
Hatfield?
Yeah, not
That's
even,
the
not
Why?
even,
weirdest fucking option.
I don't get it.
not even a Ventru.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it the weirdest
Feels the
option?
Bruja.
Yes, Hatfield ain't shit. What? Like, Hatfield,
He's
you're
right.
right, but you ain't shit.
He's right. He's right. You're right. You're
That'd
right.
be like
Listen,
Pandora living in a
would-
fucking flat, you know?
Why would an
Look.
old Ventru choose to be in a fucking Bruja?
I understand.
I've only been
how
kindred for like
Ventru-
a couple of years.
And
What if?
therefore exceedingly vulnerable.
What
on
if?
top of the fact that you are quite physically strong.
Well, what if Hatfield's fear is, whether they wish to admit it or even realize it, the tower being right, the tower permeating them joining the tower in mind and body? And what representation is there of the tower that is not Mithras, in life or death?
You're not wrong. I definitely put that on the table of possibilities. I just think. Quick question for the SC before I continue. Would
How do you
I, given my like, because I am Bahari and I have to sort of live in semi-secret, and I'm always having to like watch the chessboard in order to protect myself, would I know about the time that Mithras did take over a body? That was his lover or friend or his, right hand man.
Do wits and occult.
Would
for
I
me.
have heard rumors? Oh, right then.
Let's find
Let's
out how
get
much
to
you
it.
know.
Can I persuade you for an intelligence and occult?
Yes, you can.
Wonderful, thank you so much. I'm going to rouse the blood because the more dice, the better. I get hungrier, but that's okay. It is worth it.
Thinking really hard.
Yeah.
Oh fucking yeah! All right, so yeah, you'll have heard somehow, either from other kindred older than yourself that you no longer have contact with, or just word on the Bahari grapevine. The things get passed around quite easily in kindred world. Gossip is the lifeblood of kindred, aside from actual lifeblood, and you'll be able to know that not only did Mithras get diaborized by a Sabat Banu Hakim named Monty Coven, but apparently his fate after there is unknown. Rumors are he's dead, but you can never tell with a kindred so powerful as Mithras.
Right, so I begin to share this information as we're like getting closer to the haven, and I say, you all need to understand the very power that was Mithras. This is a man who not only claimed that he was a blood god, but very much had the power to back this up. He was diablerized by a Banu Hakim. And if you don't understand the process of diableration, what fucking happens with that? After this diablerizing happened by this Sabat Banu Hakim, his whereabouts were unknown, and the rumor became that Mithras was dead. But you have to understand the power the man had, that is very unlikely. Jumping bodies is not new to elders. Quite frankly, it's how they survive. There's only so many times you can go into torpor for 100 years or so and come out and still, be able to interact with the world. Mithras was incredibly smart, and he knew he had to change from body to body. He is not, I don't think he's attached to the claim of clan.
Well, yeah, listen to what you just said, though. He's incredibly smart and wants to jump into Hatfield.
Yes, a brand new body that has absolutely no defenses to such a thing, who is incredibly strong, who has no real allegiances. Yes, he is bonded to Ebony, but you know how quickly that can vanish under Mithras, who, in truth, if we're just being honest with each other, Ebony has connections.
I don't know.
He could just borrow Hatfield for a few nights and jump into a proper body.
I mean,
I
I
don't
understand
know.
what
It's
you're
be a
saying.
means to an end. The point
Maybe, I
is
guess.
now we have to protect Hatfield.
From fucking
Regardless.
Mithras? Alright, yeah, sure. Give it a shot.
What would you rather me do? Would you rather me be like, well, let's not worry about it, and the next time Hatfield come through and he happens to not be Hatfield but Mithras, and just say, hey, come on in?
You guys were
Is that what we
literally
want
in.
to do?
You guys were in a haunted hallway of spooky shit, and. Hey, Hatfield, you feeling pretty scared right now?
I mean, I'm a little bit freaked out.
Shit, they got him too. That's crazy, dog. I think.
Okay, what would you
All right.
have me do? Would you like me to
Nothing.
not warn you? Would you like me
I
not
mean,
to warn anyone and just let things
I-
continue as is?
It would be pretty weird for Mithras to be like, yeah, Hatfield's probably the best option here. Jump into this. I mean, it's sure, keep it in mind. I'm not saying throw it away, but it seems very unlikely. He could get a way better body.
Sure.
Like-
So, like, are you
That's-
jealous?
Are you
Who are you
dumb?
asking?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
I mean, you're insulting
Okay.
Hatfield a lot, and it's kind of rude.
It's not
No.
really a matter of insulting. It's Hatfield is young. It
Yeah,
doesn't make
I'm
any
not shit
sense.
either. Pandora isn't shit compared to Mithras. None of us are. He could do way better. It just seems weird that you guys were in a hallway about fears, and then Mithras, literally the symbol of the tower, shows up, threatening to take away Hatfield's agency and control and everything they are, their identity, which seems like something Hatfield would be fucking terrified of. That seems like a really coincidental place for Mithras to be like, by the way, I'm here too.
Well, it's not the first time that he's been like, by the way, I'm here too, is it, Ebony?
Oh. Is there tea on the table? I did not know. Pass me a cup.
I don't.
You can play a game of
I-
yes and no.
Fine. But if I fucking fall into this floor rather than nosebleed, it's your fault.
Oh my god.
Sure, I'm willing to take the risk. That alone is an answer. They're in a position where they
point.
can't talk about Mithras at all. They can't give anything away, or they will suffer both physically and mentally. Whatever machinations are afoot, that is what we need to be careful of. That's
Well,
what I'm saying. It's
yes, at the aside, if what you're saying is true, and I'm not saying it's not, I don't think it's likely, but if it is true, and it could be, because fuck me, I've been Ramied once or twice, it happens. If Mithras really wanted Hatfield, there is not a fucking thing we could do about it, probably. So, I mean, we can't like put out Mithras traps and hope we catch one, right? That's not how that's gonna work. So either Hatfield was just spooked, and that was Hatfield's scary thing, or Mithras is gonna join the coterie, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's one of those two things, right? Either way, we can't do anything about it.
You
Well,
know,
I'm
for
not
a
gonna have
minute there,
anyone
I
here
was
be ignorant
almost
of it.
feeling better. And then I wasn't.
Well, I'm sorry.
Look, I
There's-
just don't want anyone to be ignorant to the things that are happening. And I think that the more that we discuss them with each other and we keep each other in the loop about it, at least
Yes.
we'll all know.
Absolutely, yeah. That
Have I
okay.
been
I
acting
got you.
different?
I got you. Sorry, my brain's still running a little hot right now. Apologize if
It's
I'm a little
fine.
short.
I understand. No, it's fine. I understand. Someone just tried to erase your entire being for shits and giggles. I get it.
Hatfield. Do you remember when you threw me into the wall?
Yeah. Sorry about that, boss.
Oh my god.
It's fine. But I don't know if that was just you listening to the beast inside. You seemed even... You were very different. Oh no.
Tech issue night, I suppose, isn't it?
I think
From
we
my
have
end, though,
cameras
everything's
and-
working fine. Haven't dropped a single frame. Everything's been going well on my end, but everyone else is having tech issues this week. Great. Apparently, DST is
Table
Rami's
horn.
chest. That's going to be interesting.
So sorry. Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what just happened. Discord just like froze everybody for me, and everything.
It's weird. Everyone's having tech issues, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Not a single drop frame, and I'm the one that's on the edge of a typhoon.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Typhoon magic.
happening.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Ebony, what was the last thing you said? Because my brain just shook itself like an Etch-a-Sketch, and...
bro, so did mine.
I will remind you that the sun is slowly appearing.
I
This
would
is in the
say
car.
that we're there. I would say we're at the Haven by this point, yeah, because we've been like consistently
hide in the
trying
building.
to
We're all
get
going
to
to
the
pass
Haven.
out.
Yeah, we were driving back.
Yeah, we were driving
pass
back
out on the
already,
couch,
and
fuck this.
right. And to be fair, like I'm pretty sure we would know the area well enough to know the quickest and smartest ways to get back home and not hit a bunch of like traffic stops and whatnot. So, I would say we're probably arriving at our gates now. You know,
I believe the last thing I said was something on the lines of, I don't think it's the beast. I don't think it was the beast talking to you. You were different.
I just remember it was like my brain was itchy. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense.
It makes sense.
It does, actually.
You are a Ventrue, Ebony, and so I know you are well versed in your histories. Is it possible, given Mithras, I'm answering my own question as I'm asking you this, he took the body. I'm going to affirm that he took the body of this Banu Hakim. Banu Hakim have access to blood sorceries and other such powers. You say your brain was itchy. I don't know the full extent of their abilities when it comes to blood sorcery, but I really wouldn't put it past them to be able to do something strange within your brain. And to be fair, Ministry also has blood sorcery through rituals and such, but either way, what happened, not good, not great.
Fine, this is fine. Everything's fine. I'm sorry. I'm losing my cool.
No, it's cool. I've got you a gift at home, and I think you'll enjoy it. So let's all get out the car. Just get in the house. Take a deep breath. I'll give you your gift. We'll sleep on it, and then next evening we'll come at it afresh. How does that sound?
Plan as
You
any,
do
I
the
guess.
Gift exchange now, just as you're going in. The sun is
I will...
swiftly approaching, and as soon as that thing hits a certain point, you're going to sleep.
We're all going to collapse.
You're standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the living room, we're all down.
Boom.
Accidental cuddle puddle.
You're right. No,
we all
but very
wake up
quickly,
in a pile.
Very quickly, Acheron will lead you to one of the many rooms within the asylum, where the windows have all are blacked out and have these big old curtains over them and everything. And you'll see that there's essentially a gym there. So there's like this huge. It's almost like a freestanding brick wall for you to punch at, because in Acheron's mind, they're like, if I get them a punching bag, they're going to go through that so quickly. And, so like, it's essentially just a place for Hatfield to like let out their frustrations and rages and whatnot, but with items that will endure.
A temper tantrum room. Got it.
Yeah. Very much a temper tantrum room.
If there's moments of surprise and just genuine like appreciation on Hatfield's face of like, oh, you care.
Yeah. Well, don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation to uphold. But we had a room like this when I was growing up, except the walls were all padded. I figure put that knowledge to use and give you a space in which you are safe to be yourself. I understand that it must be difficult having to be, a lack of a better word, a lapdog. And I'm not saying that you don't care for Ebony. I imagine you do. But you are not
On a
Ventru.
leash.
Yes, you are on a leash, you are in a cage. There should be a space at least for you to not have to hide your nature. The fact you are Bruja is, despite what was said in the car, Bruja were not just fighters, they were philosophers. They are a clan of passion that shouldn't be taken away from you because of a bond.
I
Good.
Thanks.
There's just a curt nod from Akron, and they're just like, "Good day," and then they fucking leave to go to their room and pass out.
And you'll all retire to your rooms in the Haven and sleep for the day, awakening the next night. And Hatfield awakens from their day rest within the Haven. Ebony, though, is already absent, probably milling around, doing her own thing within the Haven. And Hatfield, as you awaken, you suddenly feel a cold chill in the room. Shadows envelop it, and footsteps come from behind you, and a familiar voice ekes out from it. It's stern, yet familiar, and somehow, in its own sense, soothing. Your instincts, Hatfield, tell you that this voice means you no harm. You turn to see it, and you see a compact but slightly muscular figure. You've seen him before, and the figure's dark hair under his Phrygian cap flows in front of his face, slightly obscuring his features. Hatfield, you're alone now. When you remain a good little lapdog, or when you do what your blood urges you to do and follow your own path.
What's it to you?
I have something of a vested interest.
Why?
Because you have potential, Hatfield. So, do you want more, Hatfield, or are you content being on the end of a leash?
I want to be alone in my head.
Hatfield, you don't owe me lip service, feigning loyalty to those that hold you hostage. I know
It don't got
everything
nothing
you
to
do.
do with loyalty. I want to be alone in my head.
Unfortunately, you don't have that luxury anymore. You're too important, Hatfield. You can't hide it from me. I know what you are.
Don't?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I don't.
Do you want me to tell you, Hatfield, what you are?
Go for it.
You are change, Hatfield. You are strength. You are what could be.
And where do you expect flattery to get you?
It's not flattery stating simple fact, Hatfield. Why else do you think I'm here? Do you think the others have got what it takes to lead a revolt? To actually think for themselves? To have the strength to think for themselves? Or do you think, like I do, you're the only one capable?
Want me to think for myself, or you want to do the thinking for me?
I want you to listen to me telling you to think for yourself. Even within the blood bond, Your instructions still have wiggle room for interpretation. And Hatfield, trust me, it is only those who have nothing that can gain everything. You could not just lead Anarchs or Camarilla. You could unite them. You could free them of their shackles, just as you have done for yourself, Hatfield, if you take this step. Imagine it. You unite all kindred of this city under your name. No more war, strife, or kindred suffering. And from there you spread your will across the country. Unite this fractured, broken land under one vision, and turn this whole land into a bastion.
Yeah, ain't that a beautiful dream? Trade one cage for another? Become the boot?
But it would be your foot in the boot, Hatfield.
I don't think you know what freedom means.
Freedom is yours there for the taking, as much as you can take, if you're willing to take the first step.
Get out of my head.
The figure slowly fades away like a dream, a small, wry smile upon his face as he disappears, leaving Hatfield to process what just happened. Meanwhile, in the rest of the Haven, what is everyone else doing?
Let's say as soon as the figure fades, the wall is punched.
No worries.
I will say, I think Ebony is in whatever library we have, just researching everything that is tangentially related to Mithras, old shit. I just burying in a book to forget.
Yep. You'll find scant, surprisingly scant information on Mithras's rule. I mean, it doesn't try to hide the fact that Mithras was ruler for such a time, and then Lady Anne took over. It doesn't go into details about how this transition appeared. It doesn't go into details about Mithras as a person. It doesn't quite verge onto propaganda, but it does give you this feeling of, they really don't want to talk about Mithras, but they can't hide the fact that this guy existed for so long.
This bullshit.
I think that Akron is probably doing similar, except not in the Haven. I think Akron would have left to probably their own Haven, checked up on some things, but then also is looking through their own collection of knowledge. And I think in the depths of their garden, the underground part, they go to the spot at the far back, sort of hidden in shadows, and they begin to dig into the earth underneath a very large corpse flower that has not bloomed yet. And they're digging beneath, and they pull out a jar that is full of vitae. Within is the heart that they found. And I think for a long time they consider it, and there's a thought of, do I poke what this is and see what happens? And so I don't know what kind of role you've got me to do, but I think her entire his entire focus in this moment is, what is this heart?
The role associated with this is it's a heart. It's obviously it's dead. It's not rotting, so you can't exactly discern an age from it. You know that the amount of time that you've stored this, it should look far more decayed than it does, but it seems to be preserved in the moment.
Okay.
And I think automatically, in and of itself, you'll know that obviously that's not right. There's something up with this, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in that, right, they will again bury it, cover it up, and then that's when they'll begin their research into various occult and things that they would have collected about other clans and their collection of knowledge, their scrolls and books and various things they took from their sire. So it's like hundreds of years worth of knowledge stored up by a Samitsi. So you can imagine it's very extensive, especially about knowledge of like other clans and the capabilities that other clans have. Um, I think I'm just looking for like information on like body hopping and things maybe that were in the vein of Mithras, right? Um, uh, in the vein of Banu Hakim, of
Intelligence and
various
occult,
things like that.
please. Let's see what you can find. This will be a somewhat difficult role because this is quite arcane knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm just glad I got to use the word
So,
arcane. I don't get to use it enough in this game.
does our hunger resets and everything from our rest, right?
No, we did that before we started.
Okay, but we did sleep in game, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, we did that roll out of sync before we started the game, just so we didn't have to do
got you.
during.
Okay, no problem. So I'm gonna rouse the blood again. And I gain a hunger anyway. Delightful. Okay, here we go. So occult and what'd you say? Intelligence?
Intelligence, please.
Oh, we are gonna re-roll that for sure. Because so many dice. Alright, 5 in total.
Outside of diablerie, you know that there are other methods. These are extremely difficult methods, perhaps even lost to time. Their methodology so intricate and forbidden that the knowledge has just not been passed down. But you are able to discern of at least one other way of being able to separate one's, for lack of a better word, soul, placing it wherever it is that people go when they die, these Shadowlands as they're so called, and then the body can physically decay, rot away, and then the only matter is simply finding a new host and knowing the ritual, which does require certain objects that are tied heavily to the person trying to be resurrected. But this is
so like feathers and stuff.
Yeah, they're basically the same sort of thing, but they're not necessarily the same fetter, if that makes sense. But extremely similar.
Yeah,
extremely
absolutely.
similar, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think Akron, like in their sort of
And that's
their, like,
her Carter
workshop.
ritual, by the way. That is specifically from the Harbinger of Skulls.
Yeah, So what happens is, as they gather this information, they go full Pepe Sylvia and like start to put up a board in their workshop, and they start to pin things and put strings across and start to make notes and such. And there's like various like occult papers and sort of things strung together to show that it is a Hakata, specifically Harbinger's process to do this. And with the knowledge of Rami formerly being a Harbinger, I think that Acheron sort of like has a little image of Rami and like circles it. It's like, I need to know what they know, even if they can't remember it. So yeah, starts putting that stuff up, begins to kind of collect that information before getting into their car and proceeding back to the Haven.
Lovely. Meanwhile, back at the Haven, is there anything anyone else would like to do, or anyone wants to chat with someone?
Slip is definitely...
Go ahead.
Discord?
Barry?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I imagine Barry would just be kind of chilling in the main room if someone else is there. Otherwise, maybe he'd be wandering between the kitchen and the.
You'd probably run into Ebony. I mean, the library, the closest thing you have to a library is the main meeting room type place. So you'd be
Okay.
in there with Ebony as well. And I don't know where Slip, if he would come out of his haven at all, or if he'd just be sat there playing Gallagher.
Slip. First thing he does is feed the prisoners. Second thing is he's finishing last minute touches on the headsets for the Watchmen. They have their own separate channel.
Is there anything?
So he's around tinkering, doing general upkeep on stuff.
Anything any of you four? Because I imagine Rami will be there as well. Want to chat about? Or do?
That dream place was pretty strange. Like, you try to use your imagination to get through stuff, but it doesn't work. But sometimes it does. You know, it was a really strange experience for all of us. I'm glad to be home.
Harry, you realize that it's not that it was reaching into our minds and making things. We didn't actually have control of any of it.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
I think you'll find that was Unpleasant Daydream on Oak Road.
Sorry. Terror on Oak Road.
There we go. Yeah, that's a better one.
Night Terror on Oak Road, nice. Actually, shockingly, yes, they really should have controlled my TV intake when I was at the hospital.
It kind of
Saw that
reminded me
way.
a bit like that.
That's not a bad. That's not a bad way of thinking about it. I guess we just didn't have a singular monster that was coming after us. The whole fucking place.
That we know of. Maybe whatever that thing was just changing its shape for our nightmares.
I don't want to think about that because that's just Sometimes I really do wish I could just go back to the church. It was easier. Fuck this.
By now, I think everyone would have arrived from outside their own havens, arrived back at the shared haven. So you're all gathered together inside of the main meeting room if you all want to have a chat as a collective.
Right, so how are we feeling this morning? Or evening, rather.
I feel like it'd be a good cue for Hatfield to kind of storm into the room, obviously tense, pacing back and forth, clearly not chill.
What's wrong, Hatfield? You hungry? You look hungry.
You know I could eat.
I get that way when I get hungry.
It's not over. I'm telling you, it's.
I know. When I look at Hatfield, is there a way for me to oh, man, because I want to insight them, but but it's very do they seem changed? Not just in a way that they're frightened. Is there I don't know, aura changes or a physicality that's changed about them or something?
No, nothing, outside of their temperament, which is abnormal.
Right.
For Hatfield.
You are right, Hatfield. It is not over.
No, it ain't. I saw him again.
What?
Oh! I look at Slip. I'm just like,
You saw who again?
The guy.
Oh, the guy. What did
The
the guy
guy.
say?
You.
What did they say?
That I got potential.
Okay, that's it. What else? Verbatim, please.
Wants me to think for myself. Stop being a lapdog.
Oh, that's not Mithras at all. Okay, oof, alright, dodge a bullet there.
Akron's not convinced. But is, actively listening to.
Yeah, no, of course
Catherine.
the think for myself comes, he's talking about you people, he's not talking about him.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that's... No, yeah. Mhm. I can offer you freedom. Those people are phonies. Kindred shit.
Yeah.
Hatfield, what do you know of your clan?
Very little!
Nature.
I didn't have the best relationship with the whole sire thing. I didn't really know the guy.
Most of us don't have good relations with their sires, I mean. Right, well,
My
told
grandmother is lovely.
True.
there's so
Barry,
many
there's an
things.
exception to every rule, or however the saying goes.
There's so much to unpack there and the nature of Hakata, but another time. The focus is Hatfield. Look, Bruja. I told you yesterday that they are not just fighters. They are philosophers. They are creatures of passion. They are leaders
Change.
of. Yes, change. Of revolution. Why do you think so many of them are anarchs? Is there, other than freedom, which is a very funny term for any kindred to throw around, was there anything promised?
Oh yeah,
Anything
no,
offered
he
to be gained?
used me to get on top of the world, that whole shtick. Be the tyrant you want to see in the world.
Sounds like Mithras to me.
Oh.
I have done some research, and I found out a little more about the jumping of bodies.
Just like on fire.
On fire?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, children, ghosts.
Taking you out for a
Oh,
drink
right,
after they're buying.
Right, okay. Mithras, yes. Body swapping. Okay. So there is the obvious of diablerie, right? Which, quite frankly, when you are already a powerful elder, makes that process pretty easy, but there's always the off chance that you don't win that little battle. Some Mithras or someone like him is what we'll say. Probably wouldn't leave things up to chance. There is a ritual that the Hakata know. And I'll look at Rami as I say that. Specifically, the Harbingers. It's a ritual that's a very complex ritual, and it would take time. Not only to gather your resources for this ritual, but the ritual itself is not something quick. But it allows for them to keep their, for lack of a better word, soul within the Shadowlands, and through various objects in this ritual and the ritual itself, then pull said soul and stick it into a body of their choosing. Obviously, this is very involved because you need those on the other side in our realm to know this ritual. And if there's one thing I know about the family is that they would not forget such a ritual. It is, it gives them an edge, quite frankly, these old arcane practices that other clans do not have. So it is very interesting to me that there is a reveal that not only is Hatfield this potential vessel with so much potential to be change and a leader of revolution, but then for Rummy to be revealed as a former harbinger within the Akata. And you don't remember at all. So
I just
it's
don't
not
feel
great.
possible.
Yeah, I just thought, Slip, even if you're right, and this isn't a thing, like, I don't want to be the one to Rama you next.
Don't do it! Don't you fucking do it!
That's why
Not
I'm telling
you!
you. That's why
Not
I'm telling
you! Don't!
That's why I'm telling you, buddy.
Oh God.
Look, it's
Well,
not bad.
Well, if it does happen, I tell you what, I won't be able to do anything about it, and I think you'll do a fine job as the new Mithras.
Jesus
using the sign
Christ.
Lip, please.
What?
I
What do you?
think the goal
what?
should be to keep Hatfield as Hatfield. And I've given you all information that perhaps you can reach out to your people, because I am not under the impression that you lack connections, and perhaps get more answers.
I mean, another Hikata I could ask about the ceremonies, but I don't know what information you would want.
Same.
And
And it's
But
at that moment the conversation is interrupted by the echo of 3 loud knocks coming from the front door.
Oh,
I'll get it.
on.
I'll get to the door.
I didn't invite anyone over. I don't know
I
who that
swear,
could be.
if it is. Oh,
Well,
not here. I'm
Rami
not
getting
here
the
right
door?
now. I don't want.
Yeah.
Rami!
Yeah.
You go to the front door and open it, and standing there, to your shock and horror, is someone that you recognize. A policeman stands there, and for a brief moment he's just in as much shock as you are, before finally asserting himself and says, Dr. Rami,
Hi.
may I come in, please?
What are you doing here?
I'd like to talk about it indoors. Less
Sure,
prying ears.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I'll let him in.
The man enters into the haven.
He says less prying ears. Sorry.
The man enters into the haven and is guided to the coteries' main meeting room. There the kind sits, unaware that he is surrounded by predators, blissfully ignorant of the danger he has willfully walked himself into. The man's body language seems at ease, well practiced at managing his body language to be as approachable as possible, but keeps his focus mostly upon Rami as he speaks. Doctor, I hope you appreciate the fact that I have come here to ask for your help.
I mean, who else are you gonna ask?
Yes, indeed. Well, I have a problem. A case
Sure.
I'm working on. It's... Well, there's a reason I'm here talking to you, of all people, about this. Spontaneous human combustion, ever heard of it?
I mean, yes. I mean, most people think it's a theory and it's not real, but then there are cases of it happening, but...
Right. I don't believe it. People are just up and randomly exploding any more than I believe in little green men from Mars. The station is happy to just leave it as is and call it an unknown phenomenon and move on. But I know there's something else here. I can't let it leave. They won't let me look into it any further, though. Waste of resources. So I'm here. Asking you.
I mean, of course I'll help you. You'll owe me a favor, of course.
Naturally. I mean, I know you have no real reason to help me, but this will go a long way to show me that I shouldn't have to worry about you, right?
Why do you need to worry about me?
Yes. Indeed, something like that anyway. You wouldn't believe the
I
weird
mean-
shit some of the others have come across in this city. People are... Well, they see all that, but they're happy to dismiss this. I get it. Sweep away what you can, but I just can't let this one go. People are literally blowing up. People don't do that. So, Doctor, with all the bizarre occurrences that happen around you, I figure you'd be able to put a bow on this for me.
Yeah, what information do you currently have?
Well, I haven't got much to
people that
go
are-
on.
Mhm.
A couple of members were from some gym. Followed up, but I didn't get far. I ended up being blocked. But tonight something turned up. A new site. I can't go look into it personally, but I can keep anyone else out of a place for a few hours. Say, long enough for someone to go in there, have a look around and see what they can find. Maybe you have a unique perspective on something I missed.
I mean, I was gonna ask if I go look into it, if you can get me into the location, but of course you can. Where is it?
One of the houses in North Hinsky Village. It's been cordoned off by police tape. You won't miss it. The outside has been searched. There was no trace at all. Front door's been left open. No signs of forced entry. You'll find the murder site, because that's what it is, a murder. You'll find it in the living room, first door on the right.
This conversation is being had in the common area, right?
Yeah, right in front of all of you. So you're free to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Officer. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Haven't introduced him. Detective Simon Dow.
Detective Simon. Wonderful to meet you. We are co-workers with Romy here. So we should aid her in this endeavor. I wonder, when you were looking at this latest murder site, there was no sign of, bullets or something of that nature. You said
Nothing
people
in the
were
report.
exploding. Were you... Okay. Now, is there a body? Is the real question, or is it just?
If it's anything like the last site, yeah, it's spread out all across the room. I expect.
Oh, so like
Body
people like
explosion.
exploded?
Yeah, I wasn't joking when I said spontaneous human combustion.
Well,
Yeah,
nah,
it's-
because the spontaneous human combustion, isn't that the thing where it's like the person goes up in flames, and like the hands and feet are still left lying around, but everything else is just like goo?
It's people are just
Depends.
blowing up.
Okay,
they
well,
want-
see, that's good to know.
The station
Well,
just
if
want me to
it's-
throw it away, and I'm not happy because people don't blow up.
Yeah, usually not like that. No.
Well,
it's a pseudoscience. It's, you know.
If there was a motive, I'm sure we can probably look into it and suss that out. We've got some experience with those. I'm sure we can figure it out.
We're happy to help, officer.
Thank you.
Experience investigating murders, I should say.
Oh my god.
Right, so
Private investigators.
Rami, you and your
sort.
accomplices will look into this tonight, and
I'll
I'll
look
keep the site
into
free for a
it.
few hours.
You know, I prefer the word associate to accomplice.
I was also going to
Yes.
say that. Can you get me whatever report you have currently? Or is it not that much information?
There isn't that much information. They're not letting me
Alright.
record anything.
What's the name of the person who exploded? Or did you not test that yet?
Do have that, but it wasn't in that bit of the notes, but it fucking should have been, shouldn't it? Julian Poole!
Alright.
You said that you spoke in the plural. How many other cases have you come across like this?
Including this one, 4 so far.
Are they? How recent are they besides this one, clearly?
Fairly recent, over the period of a couple of weeks or so? 3-4 weeks? Something like that.
Have you found like a
The
connection
other-
between them? I'm sorry, background.
With a what, sorry, between them?
A connection between the victims.
No common connection. Like I say, a couple of them went to seemed to go to the same gym, but
You said Jim, yeah.
only 2 of them. That's it. They don't seem to have known each other in any way, shape, or form otherwise. Come from different walks of life.
locations of these 4 victims. We know one is in that village. The other 3?
The other 2 have been various sites in the southern part of the city.
ST.
How do you do?
Exploding people sounds familiar to me. It was the location in which the priestess exploded. Was that southern part of the city?
No.
Okay.
But I'll
Alright.
tell you what, if you would like to roll, it's going to have to be Wits and Occult. And Hatfield, Wits and Occult.
Oh, okay.
All right. There we go. It's a 4. Messy critical.
Okay. Would you like to stick with your messy critical?
No, because there's a human about. I will expend another willpower to re-roll those. Yeah.
That's still a messy
Still
critical.
a critical.
Yeah, you rolled 10 again.
Shit. Well, I tried my best, Rami. I'm so sorry.
So, this is going to be fun. First of all, from the description of this, the fact that the way that this has been described to the both of you doesn't fit so much with a body catching fire and exploding. It does, however, fit more like something that Hatfield recently experienced in that flashback, when their very blood was boiled from the inside out.
Ouch.
And as you
Understood.
realise this,
Understood.
Acheron, the beast inside of you screams up. You become obsessed with possessing something in this scene, desiring to add it to your proverbial hoard. This can be anything from an object to a piece of property to an actual person. Any action not taken towards this purpose incurs a 2 dice penalty. This compulsion persists until ownership is established or the object of desire becomes unattainable. And the only new thing that you could possibly possess in this scene is this policeman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who is more important than you possibly realise. Let's see how this goes for you.
Detective about to have a
I
good or
think-
bad day.
I think that
Have a day.
Akron smiles. To the officer, the smile seems genuine, seems warm, seems welcoming, but I think my coterie members have been around me long enough to know that it is a smile of a predator. And Akron will go to this man and will hold a hand out and to shake their hand. And pull simultaneously out of their pocket a card. It's a card to the garden. And says, so we are so happy to help you, to aid you in this. It's good to see a man of the law truly concerned for his citizens and wanting to make their home a better, safer place. I own this establishment. I don't know if you have a family or not. Or just those you enjoy spending time with. I welcome you to come into the garden and see one of our tours.
Well, thank you for inviting me to a public garden. That's very kind of you.
Oh, well, we do special tours. That's why I'm inviting you.
Special tours. That seems something more for the missus and myself. Not really into the old gardening.
Well, it'd be lovely to take the missus out for a date, don't you think? Well deserved, what with the long hours.
I suppose, maybe. But, I prefer the ball of foot with the kicking, the throw-ins, and people being offside. Can't get enough of it. Love it.
Kickball.
Love people being offside. I think that's the best bit of the game.
Ooh, what's your favorite team?
Well,
The Wolves.
Love that wolf pack.
Yep. Go the Wolves.
I've got one of my co-workers there, one of my staff members, is also a fan of football.
Oh, what team
Quite
does he
capable
support?
of getting the fucking the Golden Snitches. I don't fucking know. Whatever UK football team.
The fucking Golden Snitches.
They're underdogs.
I don't have a name, buddy. I don't follow football. Certainly not UK football.
Neither do I. I put in the
says
effort,
a
though.
name. I could, like, I don't know, the fucking guys. the Manchester lads. I don't know.
Oh, the Manchester
says
team.
football
Which
name.
Manchester team? There are two.
The lads. I
The
don't
Manchester
fucking know.
Minnows.
I don't know what Manchester United is. That a team?
Yeah, Manchester United is a
yeah.
team. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Offers that and says, but however, they've got connections to those who perhaps we can get you seats. We are doing this as a favor to you, but I think establishing friendship is very important. And should you ever need us to do extra work, we've got a little partnership going. And we can help you out.
You're all right, love. Like, no, you're not a love because you're a dude. You're all right, mate. You don't need to worry about it. I don't want to make this into a habit. This was just a one-off thing. I'm not going to be that sort of policeman. This is purely about stopping what is a grisly murder. I don't intend for.
Okay.
I don't want any of your gifts or anything like that. You're barking up the wrong tree, mate.
Whoa,
I am
whoa.
going to use dominate.
Yeah.
And I believe mesmerize would be applicable to this. And essentially Acheron is saying, take the card.
There isn't a way that I can stop this.
Do a rouse
is
check.
there?
Okay.
Like I can't like get in the
Rousing
way of
success.
her and him.
I'll tell you what. Yes,
Mhm.
if you do Dex and Athletics, and Acheron does Dex and Athletics. First of all, do Dex and Athletics to see if you can give him a gentle nudge. I'm sorry, pronouns are a pain in the fucking ass. I just want you all to know that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Especially with Zamitsi.
I got a rousing success on the mesmerize. Ooh, sorry.
We'll
But
count
not
that.
on the athletics.
We'll count that if it comes to it. So first of all, Dex and Athletics. Okay, sticking with Dex and Athletics.
I will say, yeah, I will say all I need is eye contact, and I've had it for the last 5 minutes of conversation with this man. And even if I get knocked out the way,
there is a
my
reason I have to give Rami the opportunity to do what she can to not let you fuck
Absolutely.
with this guy.
Absolutely. Hey, that's cool.
But
in the sort of interim of this happening, right? I want
Mm-hmm.
you to know that my other hand is slowly moving towards his. See, now I don't know how British police officers do their thing. Oh, I'll be right back. Hold on, give 2 seconds.
Oh, someone...
wait, while she's distracted, push her so she can't
Okay, I'm back.
mesmerize the guy. Damn, she's
Yeah.
fucking time.
I'm back. Hi. I am slowly reaching for. Do y'all wear guns at your hip over there in the UK?
No.
Please.
No.
Policemen don't have
that's
guns.
fine. Okay,
we
all right,
have
understood.
armed
You
police,
know what?
but they're usually at
They got
airports.
the
and
stick.
And the armed police will always have MP5s.
Get an
Wonderful.
ASP baton off him.
Either I'm going to take the baton or take his wallet. Either way, I'm taking
It'll be the
something from
baton
this
because
man.
detectives don't have. It'll be the wallet because detectives don't have a baton.
Okay, so I will take the sort of like as that's happening. So, quite frankly, the goal here is even if Rami, she's going to succeed in moving me out the way, but I will still have something of this man. So
I'm going to let you. I'm going to
That's
let you
the
take the
attack.
wallet for free. I think that's. You're never going to get the roll, and I think it would be. It would descend into one of those moments where you've just got to continuously keep on rolling to get the wallet until you get the wallet. So let's just save the middleman and say, you get the wallet, but Rami is able to quickly get in there and just give you a gentle nudge. Not enough to hurt you, not enough to piss you off, so much as you know what she's
Right.
doing. You don't know why she's doing
Uh-huh.
it, but it's enough to not make you want to get vengeance. It's enough to get your attention
Yeah.
and prevent you
Yeah, I
from
think if
mesmerizing this
anything,
guy.
like, yeah. So I will, the wallet is now in hand, and just very swiftly, it's in me pocket, and I allow myself to be pushed, and I just smile wider, and I say, you know what, you're right. I'm sorry. I really just wanted to establish a friendship. I admire individuals such as yourself. But that's fine. No gifts.
Well, that's most admirable of you, but I'm afraid it would be highly inappropriate and send the wrong message if I were
You're
to
right.
accept gifts.
You're right.
Purely for the
Well,
love of justice
It
and the
was
job.
lovely. Right. Of course. Lovely to meet you, so. And my background will go and sit down. But I have his wallet now.
Would I have seen Akron take their wallet?
I'm gonna say I don't think so. If your focus was just nudging me out the way so I couldn't do mesmerize, it wouldn't have been on my hands.
I'm fine with it. I was asking. It's fine.
You know?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, it's obviously up to the ST, but like.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say no. You didn't notice.
Okay. But I'm also aware of how Akron is right now, so.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know I've done something devious, but you just don't know what yet.
So this policeman, he's just going to say, okay, so I'll leave you to this. You've got this. This is... Yeah?
Yeah, let me lead you out. Sorry about that.
Okay, Dr. Rami, lead on.
Yeah.
And is there anything you want to have a conversation with this guy, or just, kick him out?
Did he take the card from Akron?
He took the card, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna after we leave the actual main hallway, I'm gonna go outside and be like, "Can I have the card?" You don't have to listen to that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, it's
Yeah.
whatever. Probably best you do, because I don't really want to trace me being here. No offense. Wouldn't look great.
I was gonna ask you how you found me, but you're a detective.
I work at the police station. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're asking me that, I'm beginning to question why I came here in the first place.
This isn't my house, so. You have all of your stuff, right? I just don't.
Where's my wallet? I haven't got my wallet.
Do you live in the car?
No, I had it in my pocket. I wouldn't leave my wallet in my car. Do you know what the crime rates are like in this city? Because I fucking do.
No, what are they?
Hi!
As a side note, Akron's already taken their contact information and everything and has put it in their phone, and then comes running out and says, "Officer, you dropped your wallet. Here you are," and hands it to him and goes back into the haven.
Oh, thanks. You're all very strange people. Putting the wallet back in and keys in the side door, and he's getting into his car. And he'll just drive off then.
Yeah.
Widows! And now that you have been left alone back in your coterie haven, is there anything you would like to talk about as you begin to gather yourselves together and head off to North Hinsky Lane?
Rami, how the hell do you know a cop?
I used to work in a morgue.
Okay, well, damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's an immediate answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Given evidence mounting against Hatfield as far as being safe goes, and I have no intention of cooperating with the police on anything, least of all some shit that a coroner could help with. I'll stay behind and see what I can do for
I'm
Hatfield.
sure. If we need to, we can always ask.
Well, if it's just a normal-ass murder, who gives a shit? I don't.
I don't.
And
I
if
mean,
it turns
people
out to
open
be-
like a balloon
How
ain't
is
exactly
exploding
normal.
I don't think it's gonna be normal.
And if it turns out to be something breachy, they're already at a dead end. Just smudge the fingerprints and fuck off.
It is breachy.
I
What
mean,
he
like, that ain't
described
just
as very
spontaneous human combustion. That's something else. That's what people popping like a balloon.
Yes, no, it's very similar to what happened in that strange dream state we were in to Hatfield. From what he described, it sounds a lot like, the boiling
Getting
of one's
boiled
blood.
from the inside?
Yes, except that one was seen to completion.
Yes, but we need half a dozen people to cover it up.
I didn't even think we were going to cover it up. I thought we were just going to look into it.
I don't know that us being separate from each other is actually ideal at all, given the situation. As much as I know you don't want to be in the line of fire, Step, I don't know that you have much of a choice anymore.
I do. If you guys would like me to come, I'll go, but I can try to help Hatfield later, I guess.
Sure.
I just don't like to help the police, fuck the police and all that.
Oh, I mean, that I don't blame you at all. I think it's more so it's the fact that there's these random people that they're exploding, and it's due to kindred ability.
Which one?
The real
What
question-
ability do you think it is?
Oh, it's definitely blood sorcery. If it is the boiling of one's blood, it's quite frankly probably Tremere. And since
Well, there's only
currently reside.
There's only one Tremere that we know of active in Oxford at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who has the ability to boil people's blood?
He's a primogen. If he's popping people like pimples, he's probably got a reason.
We can find out.
Right? Sure. Grab my stuff.
Exploding people does sound a lot like Tremere.
I will say, I think what's more important is the individuals he's doing this, like, why them? For what?
Yeah, the whole gym thing. We saw stuff at a gym. Is it the same gym?
It's the same gym.
Unless,
as far as I am
someone trying to frame the Tremere, because we would all assume it's the Tremere, and that would sow chaos and disorder.
I mean, most likely reason for him blowing people up is they're anarch-aligned, and he's Tower. Probably just bodying people. We do that shit all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We go sniff around. Worst case scenario, we end up killing more anarchs ourselves. That could be pretty cool.
Right, but I really, it's what I'm interested is finding out the why, right? Whether it is a matter of just we're eliminating anarchs or there's something deeper there. I mean, I just told you, Lot, that there is a complicated ritual that is needed to be done by harbingers, requiring a number of things in order to complete for a body swap. So when I, hear that bodies are now exploding, there may be a reason for that. Perhaps I know that Hakata have several rituals that require sacrifice, So it wouldn't be the first time that the Hakata have played their options amongst the clans.
We gotta make sure we don't get popped like balloons, though, because let me tell you, having your blood boiled ain't fun.
Imagine not.
Oh, yeah, that happened to you, didn't it, Hatfield? That was nasty.
Nod.
Yeah, you made it sound just like that.
Yes, so let's go. Let's move quickly.
Background, did you take his wallet?
Yes.
Why?
Impulse. Quite frankly, I'm very interested in this fellow because more than anything, I am interested in his connection to you.
I can tell you how I know him.
That would be wonderful. But it's more this desire to go to someone who is. You're great, Romy. You are.
Mm-hmm.
But you are a predator. You are like us. And I am He clearly can sense that there's something different about you and about us. You can read it on his body language.
Yeah, most people think we're friends and we're not really friends. So,
Right. So
just gonna get
Yeah,
on
what's he trying to set a weirdo to catch a weirdo?
yeah, and the way that he called us accomplices,
Yeah,
it sounds like
I don't think he
I don't know.
knows that I'm kindred,
Right.
but I think he might think that there's something going on. And that's probably what it is. He's always
Right.
been kind of suspicious, but
Do you think it's a trap?
I doubt it. He's not that smart.
I fucking hope not. That would be
He's
shitty.
not that smart.
I mean, there's the thing though
Right.
where he didn't have to be smart. He could just be the bait in a trap. Like traps, traps are like that.
Oh well, that's the case. I'll kill him later.
Cool.
Okay. If it comes down to that, I do have a request,
Sure.
but only if it comes down to that.
You don't want
Anyway,
his teeth?
not necessarily his teeth.
No, not his teeth
I'm
this
working
time.
on it.
Okay.
I'm working on a project, and when I'm ready to reveal it to you all, I will. And should it come down to we need to eliminate the detective, useful parts that would go to waste. But of course, that's only as a last resort. I won't take any parts beforehand.
Wild.
Anyway, mission to go on. Yeah, let's find out who's
There.
blowing people up.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
This is Lord. God,
And as you
we're
all
here.
gather yourselves up together, heading off to the coterie mobile, we will take a quick break and be right back.
That come off of it, but it is, the design of it is very much like a almost like a cave drawing, that it has just a very simplistic design, and in drawing that you'll see that it begins to Acheron's skin begins to stitch itself up, but that there is a scar that remains. And as they're doing this, they're like in this very low tone that is almost there's like a proper name for it, but it's a type of singing technique where the person can sing both in a low tone and a high tone at the same time. And so it has this like almost like metallic sound as they're saying these words in a language that you cannot possibly understand. And they're doing this sort of ritual scarification on themselves for the ST, recover their willpower.
Yep.
But you guys see that there is now just a fresh scar on their collarbone.
Sort of makes eye
Um,
contact with somebody else, like, okay, that just happened.
I feel like it's
Stare back
Yeah,
and
Ebony.
half feels
Ebony's just gonna be over here in the corner, apparently.
Yeah. Acheron licks
Pixie
the
has found the
blade,
name
and
of
there's
the
this.
singing in two tones is polyphonic overtone
Yes!
singing. Thank you very much, Pixie.
Yes, exactly that. Thank you so much, Pixie. And so Acheron licks the blade and then puts it away. And there's this moment on their face where they look almost ecstatic, like just blissful. And then their eyes kind of refocus and they roll their neck on their shoulders and they smile and they're like, right, ready to go. And they put the blade away and then proceed to get out of the car.
Okay.
What would you all like to do? Standing in front of this house, front door is open, just as you were told.
Well, let's want to go in through the front door. Sounds good to me.
Don't want to go through the wall this time?
What?
Not this time.
You leave Barry alone.
Right.
He's a
I'm
good bean.
gonna.
I share his disappointment that he has not yet had the chance to go full Kool-Aid man.
Be it. The night is young.
Oh, please don't break the wall here.
But yes, Romy, this is your show. Please instruct us.
I'm gonna use Sensei Unseen and just look for like blood sorcery, I guess.
Roll for me. I know. Just go with me. Wits and awareness, please.
All right.
All of us.
We're going to do something a bit weird, but it's all right. It's not my first time. I'll guide you through
Can we use
this.
power for this?
Okay, and what's your Auspex rating?
4.
So we're going to say you have 6 successes.
Okay.
There is nothing supernatural that you can see here. But this house appears perfectly normal. 2 floors, modern, nice pebble-filled front drive, garage on the side, all clean, maintained very well. Front room that you can see, but there have been planks placed in front of the window frame. Front garden, simple affair, basically just a lawn, but very well looked after. There is a burglar alarm on the house, but you're able to see that it probably wasn't connected as it doesn't have any cables or anything running off it, it's just a decoy.
Right. I would like to go through the room throughout the house, really, if I can, and find out what information I can about the individual, the victim, essentially, who lived here.
I've got you covered. Before you even go in the house, the front door, it's frozen in place, exposing the short hallway behind it to the elements of the night, affording you all a brief snippet inside the surprisingly tidy hallway, catching sight of the kitchen at the end of the corridor and the thick carpeted stairs leading up to the second floor. The interior seems immaculate. It's, barely furnished, really, but it is immaculate.
Immaculate in the sense that someone's been through here to clean it and has made it this way, or immaculate in the way of like this is a crash pad kind of way.
Or like
Not
in the slip
really
essentially
either.
the slip way or the not slip way.
This is just someone who's got a clean house. He hasn't got a lot in this house. There's not really a huge amount in there. This is a guy's place. This is a single
so it doesn't
guy's
have
place.
any, like...
Straight away, slip.
Okay,
is
bachelor pad.
straight away.
Okay.
Barry, straight away. This is fucking heaven. This is paradise kind of thing to them, and
Right. So there's no sign of sentiment, like family pictures or friends, or you know what I mean.
Without you going into the house, you just afforded this view inside.
Oh, just the glimpse. Understood.
Yeah. I'm not dealing with you inside of the house yet.
Unless
Understood. Okay.
Barry is going inside.
Okay.
No, absolutely. Okay, you said it's frozen in place, which is bizarre.
Well,
I imagine it's not.
That was just flavorful text.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just standing still.
I didn't.
Sorry.
Okay.
I got too fancy with me words. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, you're fine. I didn't know if you meant in the literal way, because I'm pretty sure in game we're in a season where it's not cold. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Acheron would stop you. We got to get inside. So.
Where would you like to go? You've got the door on the right to the living room. You've got stairs, and you've got the kitchen straight in front.
Do I see anything in this room?
You're in the hallway, and the hallway's fine.
The first door on my left.
We're going to say you go in the right, because left and right. Barry gets bit confused with left and right, but it's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other left, on the right
Exactly,
side.
the other left.
I get my left and right confused all the time. It's the ADHD.
He enters into the house, his feet sinking into the thick beige carpet floor. Despite the dead of night, the bright cream walls and light blue inflections nearly glow in the dark as the coterie enters into the first room on the right. Instantly, the atmosphere in the house changes. The entire room is coated in dried crimson-brown blood and pieces of viscera that seem to emit from the center of the room and spread like arms reaching out to every nook and cranny within. Despite the carnage, however, nothing is otherwise disturbed. The small two-seater couch, still with a plastic coat upon it, in place. The coffee table saturated with pieces of bone set into dried blood. Indeed, the room, although barely furnished, everything seems in order, aside from the fact that it is covered in a person.
Is there a window?
Yes,
this
it's
room?
been boarded up, though, from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But the window is
Right.
fine. It's not broken. The glass is fine. It's just smear
Yeah.
of person across it that they thought,
That guy
First,
wouldn't.
don't really want to expose that to the public.
That guy wasn't kidding. This guy really did paint the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
can I investigate looking for anything that might indicate murder? Do a murder investigation? To the gore?
I know what you're asking. It was just the way you asked it made me chuckle. Yeah, you want to do for me intelligence and investigation, please. Let's see what you find.
Alrighty.
I would accept wits and awareness as well if you prefer.
I will do intelligence and investigation because I get bonuses to murder scenes.
I didn't bloody help, did it?
Wonderful. You know what? I'll do a willpower. I'll do a willpower. Give me just a moment. It looks like
Bloody
I got
mess,
two.
innit?
Yeah, it's
Bloody
a
mess. So many places to start. You could start anywhere.
This is a mess. Somehow they got gore on the floor and the ceiling, and I hate carpet because you can never clean blood out of it. The plush carpet just soaks it up like a sponge.
Can I ask you a weird question?
Sure.
This is a short shift. Sorry, that's good. I'm sorry. Can I use heightened senses and do I like? I mean, if a body exploded, if it could be like a chemical.
Oh, and you want to like smell or something? Or
Yeah,
see.
with heightened
Yeah,
senses. Yeah.
I'll let you do that for free because no.
Okay.
Great thinking, but
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Looking at all the things I have.
looking around, anything out of the ordinary aside from the viscera literally painting every available surface? Like,
Wits and awareness, please, Hatfield.
yeah.
Can I give Hatfield a +1? Oh, never mind. They rolled.
Hatfield. You look around and you find, in a particular mass of what you assume to be some sort of flesh, you eventually find, after scraping off pieces of guts, gym card. Membership for the same gym that you remember was infested with Setites last time. The name on the card is Julian Poole.
Just sort of shake off the meat bits, scrape the
Ew.
dried blood off the card so I can actually see it. Hey, I found a thing.
Huh.
Well, damn, there's our murderers. We just solved
I
it.
wonder.
It's not how that
all of-
works.
I wonder if all of them, all of our victims, were a part of the gym. As we're like looking around, because we're obviously seeing the bits of the bodies and stuff like that, and now that it's physically in front of me, would Acheron be able to confirm that, like, oh, this was definitely a sort of blood sorcery,
I mean-
boiling of blood situation?
It can't be ruled out. There are other ways. There are non-occult magic-based ways to do this. It's not outside the realm of scientific possibility. Precise explosions are a thing, but the easiest way that you can think of straight away is, blood sorcery. So, but it's not the only way.
Okay. So, Julian Poole in particular, right? Maybe there's a lingering, I don't know, a lingering ID somewhere within the house or in the room, even because he was exploded in his own body. Um, is his face amongst the faces that I?
Oh, there's not enough.
Those-
There's not enough left. We're talking.
That's why. That's why I'm
What
saying,
is
like, on
this,
a picture of like an ID.
Oh,
No,
I'll
no,
tell
I'm
you
talking
what. I'll
about,
tell you what.
an ID.
I'll tell you what. Do for me
Yeah.
wits and awareness.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to make this one wits and awareness.
Okay, not a problem. 2. Sort of scrounging about the house for an ID.
Okay,
Or
you're
even like
looking
a-
around the
a-
house. You're looking around. You're getting a general feel of this house, and this was a single guy. This isn't exactly overflowing with furniture. Most of the furnishings are functional rather than aesthetic. You're looking around the kitchen, and even though there's a place out for 2, only one of these chairs shows wear in it. The washing up, it's 1, and there's another plate stacked up. It's screaming, meal for 1. But there's this spare plate over there just in case that's never been used, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that owns this house, he wasn't rich, but he wasn't poor. He was financially comfortable.
Ew.
The one
Slip.
plate needs busted off.
Slip has made bombs. He uses bombs. He was a bomb once. He is the bomb. Am I able to, not looking at necessarily the body, but the room, the damage maybe to the body, any scrap or remains laying around that have nothing to do with the body, determine whether, just to rule out that, yeah, this man had a pipe bomb under him or something. Like, rule it out.
I really like that. Intelligence tech. Or, I'll tell you what, Slip. I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah.
You can roll intelligence and tech at a low difficulty, or you could roll wits and awareness at a higher difficulty.
Oh no, we're stick with my tech and intelligence.
Okay.
Points. And in fact, I'll re-roll 3 of those. 3.
You're looking around at the blood spatter. You're looking at the center of this explosion where it's all emitting out from, and it's all viscera. There's no residue of any explosive left. This was not something man-made in that sense, we'll say. This was most definitely something supernatural.
In my search of the house, right? Yeah, he's this single guy who's living at a comfortable financial state. Is there a computer? Is there a laptop? Is there a phone? Something in which I can give to.
There's a laptop.
Slip to
Absolutely, there's a
get into.
laptop. Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to bring it to Slip and I'm going to say, perhaps we can find out more information with this, and hand it to him.
Thank you so much. And yes, as a man who makes bombs I can... Yeah. Yep. No explosive device that I can find the remains of, so you are right.
Okay,
I got
so
popped like a balloon.
Yep.
go to nature. So I think finding out more about Mr. Julian Poole and how he got involved with the Setites, why he was chosen, would be important. Perhaps
Slip is
give
going to
us a
start...
connection to the other victims.
Slip's going to start kind of like spinning around slowly and like looking for a place to sit that's not covered in this man's.
You'll
There's a
find,
table in the kitchen.
I'm gonna say the
exactly
kitchen,
what I was going to
probably.
say.
Ooh,
Table in the
nice.
kitchen with seats.
Pull up at the
Haggis.
table.
Yep.
If it was mentioned already, I missed it. Are there like does he have like pictures of family, pictures of anybody around the house? Are there any like connections to people?
Mm-hmm.
Wits awareness, please.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Looking for any
Yeah,
signs
'cause,
this
like-
guy's got folks who would miss him.
Right, because what if that's one of the reasons that? And I think
Exactly.
Acheron would be speaking this out loud to everybody.
Do
like,
wits
what if
awareness with a
that's one of the
plus
reasons he
one.
was-
Should I re-roll that then?
Would you like to roll another d10? And we'll just add it
Okay,
on.
I'll do that.
That's 4 successes. Brilliant. You do, in fact, find in the living room, amongst the bits of brain, skull, and bone, a set of photos all lined up. Each of them have the same man in them, and he gets older in each one. In almost every frame, there's a different man or a different woman standing next to him. And it clearly depicts different relationships that this guy has had over the span of years. However, the way the picture frames line up, it looks as though there's one missing.
Okay. So somebody took something. Or is hiding something, or... Something's missing from this lineup!
Well, perhaps the picture missing is a culprit.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Somebody who created connection with this individual to bring them in, and then once they had them, use them for what they needed them for. Julian Poole is promptly shuffled off this mortal coil, and then they take the evidence of who they are.
Looking around, I don't see a humidor or any kind of cigars or anything like that, right?
No.
I didn't think so. Slip, I think you're right. I don't think there's any explosives. I don't even see a cigar they could have snuck the explosives into.
Cigar?
Why would there be a cigar?
Jesus, like an Acme exploding cigar? That's an idea. Hold
I
on.
mean, I also don't smell anything, and I haven't seen any dormant blood sorcery around, so...
That's true.
I mean, people don't usually just pop like a balloon.
Well,
Sure.
the thing to add here is that they were mortal. So, the effects of, let's say, blood boiling, right, though blood sorcery, would have a very rapid effect on a mortal, while with a kindred it would take time.
Yeah, poor
And
sucker.
we would be looking at ashes rather than bits of viscera.
Yeah,
I mean-
mortal people are very, damp inside.
Yeah, the sticky.
They are, you're correct.
A young enough kindred won't ash, but they're still, a bit stinky and,
Mhm.
Usually
Yeah.
less, moist.
yeah. Yes. Or
You're
too
100
moist.
You guys are spot on. You would be surprised how moist fresh meat is. I mean, the juices just go everywhere. So if someone
would
could
I be
just turn that to
surprised?
steam, you would get a big old explosion.
I'm gonna look around the house while this conversation's happening, so I'm not a part of it.
I mean, it's like if you put an egg in a microwave, right?
Yeah, basically.
I think Acheron and Barry are just at this point going back and forth talking about the insides of mortals. And
Yeah.
how,
Okay.
sticky they are and whatnot.
Rummy, you
Yeah.
can look around the house. It's a nice kitchen, You go upstairs, have a look around. The bathroom has towels laid out for two, but only one of them seems to have been used, regularly. You know that difference between a new towel you just got that's nice, scratchy and starchy, the kind that you want that actually dries you, but it peels off the skin, the one that you really want. One of those is just there because it's never been used, and this other one, it's just like a regular towel that's being used. Everything screams about this need for companionship because only one of everything's been used, but it's just been that there's something there just waiting for this person that has never come. Slip. Wits awareness or intelligence awareness, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Slip, you're looking over these photos. Out of everyone here, you've got the most deductive of mindsets. And you cast your keen eye and mind over this photo, and you can see that the shoes the man wears in the most recent photo starts a thread that you begin to pull in your mind as you look around the room and find one of those shoes across the room. A mound of slurry like flesh and bone seeping out from it. Shoe can be no older than a month. You're able to roughly guess and place the time of a missing photo to maybe about a month ago.
The last photograph here was taken about a month ago.
And also, by the way, you've got in this photo, the most recent photo. The most recent photo, it's so recent. You've literally... Here is the shoe in the photo. There is the shoe over there covered in guts. You can see a woman in this photo quite clearly.
And there's a lady in the photo as well. Probably his Setite gym hookup. You know what I mean?
Perhaps.
I mean,
Is it day or night in the photo?
It is day.
And it's daytime. Very important. Very important.
Very important detail for sure. Well, it's very clear he desired companionship. Very easy to reel someone in with the promise of, a person. But so in my sort of collection of portraits that I have, is either Julian or this woman amongst those photos?
No.
Those portraits? No.
No.
All right then. Interesting. Okay.
Can Barry look around, like by outlets or something like that, and see if he can see a smartphone that is just charging?
Wits awareness.
While that's happening, so these are photographs that are on the laptop, right?
No, these were proper
The
photos.
ones on the sill.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, okay.
Oh, I'll get to the laptop in a minute. You open up the laptop, and it's already playing this game called Wood. You turn it the other way. Doom!
Oh. Ooh.
Barry!
I want to
You look around the kitchen. Go straight into the fridge. Opening it up, and you find a single trainer inside of it.
I was wondering.
In this photograph, I'm going to take the photograph out of the frame. Not everyone does this, but some people, especially like of an older generation, will write like a date, a name of who's in the photo or something like that on the back of the photo.
Yeah.
Or even like
unfortunately not in this case.
The event. No, okay. All right then. Well,
But good thinking. Very good thinking.
I will take this picture and I'm going to keep it because there's a woman in it, and I have not forgotten about Gemma Seek and the possibility of that being a woman who's everybody's looking for, and mayhaps be a thing. So I will keep that photo. Right, there really is not much to go on.
After Barry goes, I'd like to do a couple of things. My brain is
Let's hear
spinning
it.
up finally.
Let's hear it now, Slip.
Well, first of all, anything important on the laptop and in and of itself?
The laptop? No. This is a gaming
I'm
laptop.
assuming. Okay. All right. I want to take the picture of the woman, like the picture of both of them, right? With my flip phone, take a picture. Use my connector cable to put the photograph on my laptop, and I would like to basically reverse image search this woman online and see if I can find social media.
Intelligence and tech. No, fuck off.
Well,
Wow. 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 Like, that is Roll20 just saying, fuck you, Slip, isn't it? Jesus.
Happens. Yeah.
Shit.
Well, personal photograph. You know, she might not have had a big internet presence.
Do we have a banked reroll? I feel as if we do, but I'm not positive.
Yes, we do.
Whacker.
The accountant.
Whacker has given you a reroll.
Face's brain is the accountant.
I write them down.
Hey.
People do them, and I mark them off when people did it. A Pixie gave us one the last time we played.
Yes, Pixie.
That is far more respectable.
All right. Thank you to whoever was the donator of
believe
that
you.
specific one.
I've got
It was
it with
Pixie.
Whacker. I've got it recorded as Whacker.
I
Pixie
think they
did.
also gave one.
Basically, thank you, Pixie, and thank you, Whacker. You're able to find
Yeah, I'm pretty
that this
sure we
woman's
used the
name
other one. So
is Catherine Gibbs. She lives to the south of the city. You're able to get an exact address, and you know it off as Anarch territory, but it is deep, dense residential area. There's not going to be any war there, because if there was, you'd all be dead the next night.
you said south
Yeah.
of the city. You
Pardon,
said south
sorry?
of the city, right? You said
Yes.
south of the city is where she
Yes.
lived.
All of this information is conveyed as he's finding it.
Yeah, Akon will say. Well, the detective did say that there were two of those victims were in the south, of the city. Mayhaps our lovely lady is no longer present either, and has recently become pink.
Maybe. We've got the address. The night's still pretty young. Could go check it
And
out
if
if you
she-
roll up.
Yes, and if she's still living, we can always ask her questions. Perhaps she was the last in contact with Julian here.
Yes. I could,
I mean, is there a
Okay.
chance that we should go back to the gym?
I think we're eventually going to have to.
How long ago was this body blown up?
He said it was recent, right?
Yes, he did say
Yeah.
that.
I'd like to
I don't know
try
if you
something
want to do.
Shiv.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I guess go ahead. You go first.
Well, no, I was going to say that because there is still like body parts here, there is still ways in which I think in combination, both like Rami and Akron could sort of work together to get a time of
What color is the
death.
dried blood? How dried is it?
Yeah. No, we could.
Yeah, like there's ways, even in like the striation of for lack of a better word, meat, you could find out how long it's been like that, and then be
I'm
able
willing
to
to give
sort of
you
work in
a roll.
reverse.
With a +1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I don't know.
I still
Rob,
think
do
it's
you
going to
wanna
be
do
a
it, Rami?
little difficult.
Depends what the roll
yeah.
is.
Intelligence
I will
medicine.
say if that's the case, can I give her a +2 because I have a specialty in it's medicine, but it's a specialty in anatomy.
I have a specialty in hematology, so it would help with the blood, but I don't know.
So
You'll be getting a +2, one from specialty, and I can only give a +1 from the assist.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'll roll for it. What you said? Wits
Intelligence,
or intelligence?
medicine.
Intelligence. It's the same.
Sticking with it, or would you like a reroll on any of
Yeah,
them?
we'll do it. 5.
Better.
You can't get an exact date. Your best guess is within the past 3 days.
Well, that's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So very recent,
I might
and there's
thinking about getting information about the other ones from Simon, but it's fine. I can do that later.
Shiv, this is a bachelor pad, and I don't know many bachelor pads that don't have a good lampshade spider or something the guy just doesn't give a shit about. Can I summon this man's roommates to me to see if they witnessed who may or may not have been present when the primary rent payer was detonated?
Is that a rouse, or is there a role associated with that with your disciplines, or is it just automatic
that would
success for
literally
you?
just... if they were Famulus, sure, but this would be Feral Whisperers to actually call the insects and to communicate with them.
So that's manipulation animalism?
Yes, sir. And a rouse check as well.
I don't know how I know that one when no one used it, but yeah, I did.
My gang girl wanted it, so that's the only reason why I did the roll for it. I don't have it, but I love gang girl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's a single, quite large, thick house spider, just, So, Sheldon.
Ew.
I'll walk over to the lampshade and just reach under, and when it crawls into my palm, I'll have a seat with it. Hey there, bud. I bet you've seen lots of shit. Did you see who popped your primary caregiver there?
The answer you receive is a no.
All right, thank you so much. I'll put him back under the lampshade. Well, guys, I asked the only character witness. I don't think they were friends.
Well, not too many people make friends with spiders, so understandable.
Yeah.
You can speak to animals?
Yes, and insects, if you like.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
He's got a whole horde of bees in him, so
fucking.
I didn't know he could speak to them.
Oh,
yes.
Understood. I understand. So we can find a route on the way to the south.
My little spies are all over the city and the haven.
You know, I have several feelings about that, but it's fine. I think just a very cursory run through of the house again, and what I'm looking for is any kind of like a receipt, a pay stub, even maybe like a wristband to a club or something, that would give us maybe a little more insight of like where he was spending his time leading up to.
Would you prefer wits awareness or intelligence and investigation?
Probably wits and awareness is going to be the better one.
Roll wits awareness.
Looking at a 3.
You do a full sweep of the house. You find nothing upstairs, and you find yourself back in the kitchen. In desperation, you open the microwave and find a single clean shoe, inside of which is what appears to be a simple business card. No logo or anything on it. It simply has the words Viper's Den.
I think Agron pulls out the card and is like, mortals are so strange. They called me crazy. The fact that they found this shoe with the business card in it, it's like, what? But yeah, we'll come back to the rest of the group and say, anyone heard of the Viper's Den?
I point at Ebony.
Have I?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Because I have as a person.
Right.
Having a crossover today.
Yeah, I think Akron will just stow the card away and be like, oh, perhaps another place for us to visit. And then if we're done here, we'll head off to the car.
Fair warning, if we're gonna go anywhere else tonight, I will need to feed first, or I'm gonna fucking swallow somebody.
All right, do you want to take a moment to call some rats to your side here, or... I've got blood bags.
I am a little. I don't think I can't drink blood bags. I wish I could. It's a skill I never acquired, and I'm worried that if I call upon the rats, and but taste them, I shall not have enough rats to be satiated, and then I'm a problem for everyone.
All right, well. Shit, can we aid him in a look for fucking food?
Yeah, I was gonna
So
ask.
that he doesn't. Yeah, can we do a collective?
Can Barry
out
find you
slip?
like a
Do it.
raccoon? Would a raccoon help?
Slip, do you have a cup?
Cup.
Is there... Shiv, can I look around in the kitchen and find a cup?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
He's gonna get
Oh,
you
wait.
beat up.
It's
I-
the cup says world's best boyfriend. It is
I'm
faded,
going to take...
stained on the inside with many a drink.
We should.
There is a
All
cup
right,
on
we
the
should
other
get this
side
cup
that
for
says
everybody.
world's best girlfriend that is completely clean.
Yikes,
We
this
should
guy
keep
That's
these cups for
sad.
Ebony and
Man,
Acheron.
I will take one of the cups and I will bleed into it and offer it to Slip.
You're going to do a rails check for that. I just want you to know the inspiration for this guy and his backstory was I once saw on Reddit this. It was really sweet. This guy was saying whenever there's a Steam sale, he always buys 2 of every game because his future girlfriend is going to play with him. He doesn't have a girlfriend at this time, but one day he will. And he always did, and it was like, that's so fucking wholesome and sweet.
My heart is very sad at that.
I hope that guy had a happy ending for that.
Yeah,
Barry,
yeah, for sure, because that's like, aw.
Well, he
You're
needs a
able to
girlfriend for that,
successfully-
right?
bleed into this.
It
cup.
won't trump Pandora's blood bond though, so...
Well, if I don't drink it right away, it can lose
If you
that
don't drink
potency.
straight from the source, you won't get bonded.
Yeah, and
This
I mean, I think for the 3-5, even if he did drink from the source, because he has a pre-existing blood bond, I don't think it would work anyways.
That's
So
true.
Yeah. Regardless, though, it does get rid of his thirst, because kindred blood is hardier than
here's the thing.
a rat.
This is not. If I drink this, it is the same as if I had not enough rats. It will help a bit, but there's a chance that I oopsie doodle and try to drink all of you all of the way.
well, if someone else wants to bleed into a cup, we can scrounge up some rats. Maybe we'll get a banquet together for you.
I mean, shit, that sounds lovely. I'll go full fucking the Lady and the Tramp in the back of an alley if someone wants to meet me halfway between, like, Barry's cup here. I don't know.
No word.
Acheron will be looking around. Does this guy have like mouse traps in his house, in his abode?
Sure, he does now. Why not? Everyone fucking does now. Yeah.
Wonderful, because I'm looking for rats. I'm looking
Mouse
for mice.
traps.
I'm looking
We got
for
lots. You name the size. We got them. Everyone has them.
No, what I'm trying to find is a
Iterations of the
field
board
mouse if I
game
need
scattered
to.
around the house.
I
I'm
can
just trying to
do
help
this.
a brother out.
Wits awareness,
You know what I'm saying?
Clarissa.
Right, so I'm at Hunger 4, and if I taste blood of any kind at Hunger 4, there's a Frenzy check, difficulty 3. And if I fail that,
Oh Lord!
I lose my fucking mind.
No, if you're
Am I
slaking
good? Am
hunger,
I okay?
if you're slaking hunger, that doesn't apply. That's only at Hunger 5 does that apply.
Taste of blood while at Hunger 4 or higher. Difficulty
Really?
3 in the core book. That's why Slip's like, I'm gonna need like more than a sandwich. I'm gonna need like a whole ham.
That's fair. Okay,
So
Acheron.
I got 5. I got a messy critical. So maybe I find him a fucking. Maybe I find him I spot a deer and I fucking catch it and
Eat
break
the
his
deer.
neck. I don't know, but like I get him something right with this
just
messy
Running
critical.
off into the woods, your eyes aglow.
You full fucking Tarzan us back a whole moose.
I don't know. It's up to
Find a raccoon.
Acheron,
Sorry.
you were saying after
Yes,
game
it's me.
last time you wanted to lose a bit. You know, you'd be all right losing a bit of humanity, right?
Yeah. Hey,
No, please.
Oh
Please,
I've
no.
got plenty to spare. Let's go.
I don't drink people. Come back.
Acheron, you're going to be a busy little
Yes,
bee.
that's me. Yes, I am.
You slip out of the house and somehow, miraculously, do a whole load of shit, sneaking into the next door neighbour, tapping into a vein, quickly tapping in and getting a little bit of more blood and sneaking back in, pouring it into this extra cup with the intent of telling Slip, of course it's from a rat. Found it in the house.
Oh, could you? It's tea all over again.
And you're going to and you are going to lose 1 humanity for this outright. Please drop 1 humanity.
I will do that. Let me drop my humanity first. We're looking at a cool 5 humanity now, you guys.
Hey,
which is fine.
right.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Hey,
I
man.
like to hang out. Yeah, I like
That's
to
a
hang
safe
out
place
around a
to
5
be.
anyway.
You got wiggle room now.
So Acheron sort of just very much as like everyone's discussing hunger and all that stuff, just kind of like into the shadows, vanishes into the night for a few moments, and then comes back. And Acheron has a circulatory system business that they run, so acquiring blood is something that they're very good at. And Slip is aware of this because Acheron has told them and says, right, I could have found you probably something a little bit better than a rat, something a bit hardier, but I managed to find this snooping about outside. This should suffice, mixed with Aries blood, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Mix it and hit it, John. We'll combine all the vitae I've been given from multiple sources and chug it and hope it's enough.
You're going to be able to
as a sadist, there's like, as he's chugging, the rest of you would just see this very slow creeping smile appear on Acheron's face, and the minute that he's done drinking, it's gone.
And this vitae as well. This isn't like it is normally, Slip. This is really satisfying. The way that this blood is trickling down your throat, the warmth energizing you. You can feel it almost like a golden surge of energy as it makes its way down your gullet into your stomach, revitalizing you. This is what being a vampire is. This is what it is. This is what it's for every night.
God damn, them grass-fed bean boys, it really hits different when there's a little berry in your brew.
Yes,
that's
it's an
good.
interesting thing in my line of work. You learn a little bit of almost like a alchemy, learning how to mix the varying vitaes to be something just exactly what your client may need.
Damn, you're a whole rat chef. I like it.
Should you need more ever, let me know.
Well, I will. Well, that's the edge taken off of me. Thanks, guys.
I'm
gonna take this mug now. This is mine. Because, A, there's kindred vitae in here, but also it's very true.
I'm sure.
Oh.
Sato Rin out there somewhere going, oh, why did that hurt my heart?
Every fucking day, don't you know? It hurts.
Mita-Bell's in the middle of a ritual, and it's just like, that's right.
Fuck everybody.
Just across the ether, Saito just hears a very Spanish accent. That's right.
You laugh every time Slip says it, but it's true. He's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. All right. So Acheron will be like, right then, let's get to investigating. Let's head off. We'll head back towards the car.
Can I pull Slip to this side for a second while everyone's leaving?
Absolutely, of course. What are you up to?
I'm gonna turn off my headpiece, my earpiece, and just be like, Slip, can you do that? I have a question for you.
Oh. Turn my earpiece off. The betrayal garden, I like it. Let's go over here. Squat down in the bushes. Squat down.
Oh, okay, I'll squat down.
Hold my hands. Yes, what is it?
I'm worried that Akron might have taken my friend's friend is a word information and written it down somewhere. Can you check their phone and delete it if they did? And I'll owe you something. I don't know what you want.
Oh, you want me to help that filthy fucking pig that was in my haven? Yeah. You want me to help that fucking copper dog that was in my haven? Yeah. You sure?
It's complicated.
Do
I just-
tell. Do tell. Do tell.
I don't. There's nothing to tell.
Do you want me to help this little piggy? I'm gonna need to know why. That is my favor. Tell me.
When I came, well, before I came to Oxford, I used to live in another part of the country, and they were also there. And, we worked
Now,
together on a
One
couple of
moment.
cases.
One moment. I'm gonna ask the question again.
Mhm.
And I need you to really consider the fact that anything I take off the phone can go back onto the phone. So,
I know.
what about this little copper, this little piggy wiggy, is so important to you that you would give me a boon for his protection when you would not give me a boon for my blood?
They're important to me, and I don't know why.
You don't know.
I care about them. That's it.
Are they like an anchor for you? Do they make you feel human when they are around?
I don't know. They remind me to find the truth in what I'm looking at when I research stuff.
So they're very special, I see.
Yes.
Rami.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Manipulation resolve.
Me?
Slip.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello?
Slip.
Yes?
Wits insight.
Oh, all right.
This is
All
an
right.
extremely important role.
The manipulation resolve.
Tits. Well, it's going to work out, I suppose. Okay. So, Slip. As you ask this question, you know exactly what you're asking. You know exactly what information you're trying to wiggle out of this Carter, this young, completely oblivious thing that you could manipulate and use at some point, but just not quite giving you enough to confirm, and then that beast is screaming inside of you. This weakling is defying you. It's getting away from you, and your need to know permeates you. You become consumed with a hunger for secrets, to know that which few or no one knows, almost as strong as your need for blood. And you refuse to share secrets with others except in strict trade for greater ones. And all actions not spent working towards learning a secret, no matter how big or small, receive a 2 dice penalty. You are suffering from the Nosferatu compulsion, cryptophilia.
Well, if this individual is not that important to you, they are not an anchor, they do not keep your soul welded to what's left of your body, that's simply not enough for me. I will need you to tell me something you don't want other people to know.
I don't know.
Damn shame about that friend of yours, right? I'm sure Acheron will be very nice. A lampshade, maybe, when they're done.
I don't have secrets. I'm not the person who has
Maybe,
secrets, really.
maybe Acheron could turn what's left into a gimp suit. That would be pretty cheeky, wouldn't it?
And no, I understand what you're trying to do, but I don't really keep secrets.
I can't help you.
You can't or you don't want to.
Well, a boon is only as useful as the kindred who owes it, and, Rami's stock has fallen lately. I want a secret, and you don't have any. So, I mean, what am I to do? We'll squat in a bush and you have no secrets. You've met me, right?
The rest of us in the car just see them holding hands and squatting in a bush, and we're like, "What is going out there?"
I don't know why, but I'm uncomfortable.
Flips in his office. Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
tell you what.
they just needed to.
I'll tell you what. It doesn't have to be your secret, but if you could bring me something juicy that I like, I will act on your request. After you have paid, of course. And the only timer on that is how long until Acheron catches their prey. So, do we have an agreement? Do we have a deal?
Sure.
Okay, one secret for one help. Let's go. Stand up, put my earpiece back in, head over to the car.
Would you like a willpower point back? Yeah, you're getting willpower point back for really well playing out your compulsion.
I might not be able to hold them hostage, but I sure can hold them hostage.
In that time that they were having that conversation, I would like to send a message to the good detective because I have his number. And I just want to say, hello, Rami's colleague here. We are doing as we promised, investigating the issue further. Have you ever heard of the Viper's Den? Perhaps something you can look into. Just a little smiley face emoji. Just a little smiley face at the end.
Yeah, you will get a reply, but it is literally just 3 dots. And, I mean, I know it is ambiguous, but Acheron. You know exactly what this means. He doesn't want to give away anything. He can't give away anything. But he's replied. He is going to be looking into this. He doesn't have an immediate reply.
Yes.
But the fact that he has replied, he's going to get in touch if he has something.
Yeah. Yeah. So the intention here really isn't so much, while yes, would love for him to come back into contact with me. But it's more so of like, he is a detective. He is trying to solve this case, right? And the more eyes we have upon it, the more that we can kind of control essentially whose eyes is upon it, since I know that a lot of this is breachy behavior.
He was told that he's not allowed to be on this case, so he can't just send you this message. Yep, on it, I'll have a look. But he has replied.
Right.
Which isn't which means he that it's secret cool action movie code for on it, Chief will reply if I've got something.
And then I will just delete the message from my phone.
Yeah.
And put my phone away.
And I would say that Rami and Slip can
I promise.
get back to the car. And what would you all like to do?
Well, we're headed to a lady's southward apartment, I believe. Right?
Coven take their leave of the crime scene. Carefully make sure they leave no trace of having been there, and make the short walk to your car, before you ignite the engine and slowly drive away from the small, isolated collection of spread out homes. As you make your way out of North Hinsky Village, being careful to not drive in such a way that will draw attention to yourselves, is there anything you'd like to talk about?
I think Slip is in the back, literally texting Mirabelle. Just dumb emojis. Just garbage.
Just back and forth. She's sending him memes.
And somewhere in the ether, Sato rages.
Sato rages. Yes. Yeah. Right. Well. Things have taken a very odd turn. People are being exploded. At first, when he brought this information to us, I did think about the plague and how it's evolved.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to get that all to stop or make it someone else's problem. I don't like the food going bad.
Right. I just, it's strange as we have this evolution in the plague where people are being, kindred specifically, are being exploded, right? And now we have a string of possibly all mortals that are being exploded by some sort of, I'm going to say blood sorcery.
You think it could be an egg in a microwave disease?
What does that mean?
Maybe. We haven't seen that much. Maybe.
Jesus.
Thank you. That makes so much more sense.
Yes, it's like it's on a timer, We're sort of incubating in the body, and then at the appropriate moment it's triggered and it explodes.
Maybe if there was some sort of pesticide we could spray that would protect all the livestock.
Hey, whoa. Hey! Whoa! They can hear you.
Who?
He's not going to spray any pesticides. He's just whispering to his own torso.
The bees.
Oh,
yeah.
He's not talking about that kind of pest. No.
No, he's not talking about the bees.
Anti-plaguicide. Vaccine. That's what they call them. Maybe we could spray a vaccine. Or put it in the food or water or something.
God, I wish.
Right, I think we have to just... Well, that would be the easy route, right? But nothing with kindred is ever easy, so here we are. Well, we have several leads, right? This woman's house that we are venturing off to, but also the Viper's Den, which, probably more Setites.
Oh, excuse me.
You're all right. We've got some vitae lodged in your throat, it's fine.
No, my girl sent me a video and it started playing on accident. My bad, I muted it.
Oh, I see. Maybe lower the volume, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, my fault.
Right, so, it's going to involve more Setites, which, hey, and then Anarchs, and at some point we are going to have to see the Banu Hakim and tell them we accomplished the mission.
Yeah. Yep, and then I've got the Malkavians to deal with after that.
Oh, that's true. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Hopefully there's something I can handle myself without dragging you guys through it, but... let's be honest. I'm only good at some things. So...
It would be helpful to have Rose with us. At least it would...
You're telling me,
I'm sure it would put them more at ease.
Her and Olivia fucking touring Europe or something. I don't know.
Well, eventually they'll come back to us. They always do.
Yes. Oh.
Right.
About the Hakata rituals for body transmogrification or whatever, I may be able to contact someone with more knowledge than I've got if anyone is interested in being there for that phone call.
Oh. Yes? The more information we can get about this, the better. So.
Nod.
I'm always interested in more rituals.
Right.
Sure. I'll have to see if A, she will take that phone call, and B, she doesn't mind talking to someone who's not myself over the phone.
Well, if there's one thing I understand about the Hakata is their response to family. So... mayhaps that's something Rummy can do.
Maybe. I will, it will be a secure line. My line is secure, her line will be secure, but still avoid buzzwords if you can.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I love it when we talk about your bees, though.
Yeah,
man.
buzzwords.
True. True. And this is, she may not even have the information. She's just the best I've got to help you.
Yeah, and like I said, I always have the Hikata at the club that I can ask. I mean, I'm sure there was
There's
something
also-
for it, but
Right. But also, perhaps talking to another Hakosa in your family, but not directly in the city, maybe you can gain some more information about yourself, Ronnie.
Yeah. And I don't think, I might be able to. I don't think she'll charge you if the call is coming from me. Maybe. That's between you and her, I don't know, but I can vouch for you. You seem, well, you're friends with me, so you're cool by proxy, right?
oh, we're friends. That's good.
Yes, of
I already
course.
owe Hikata, like another Hikata something. So
We finally squat down in a bush and whispered about shit. Of course we're friends now.
all right.
We're sharing secrets.
No, I just needed-
Sometimes.
I just needed some help with something.
Yes.
So there's always
Alright.
the best person to ask.
Wiggly nos fingers
Well.
at Acheron.
I think that just like because a little bit out of game, like Acheron and Slip have been betrayal garden since day one. So I think Acheron is like understood, you know, like just looks at Slip and it's just like the most minuscule, like their pupils go from being like large to slits like a snake and then back again. You know what I mean? Like it's a subtle thing, but yeah, just a very non-verbal understood.
The kindred arrive at the end of the road, lined with densely packed joined rows of houses. Streetlights provide enough of an amber haze to clearly see the other end of the road. Having parked up the car at a reasonable distance from Catherine's house itself, what would you all like to do?
Do you want to just go up and talk to him?
Well, let's oh, hold on. I'm just like taking a quick peek out the window. Is there like activity of people moving around? Is there CCTV cameras or TV cameras, whatever?
Quick
you know?
awareness for me, please.
Right, all right. A lot of these today. It's a 3.
You are able to see that there are a couple of CCTV cameras that cover the area. But everyone, is asleep at this time of night.
Okay. I will point these out to Slip in particular. Just like, oh look, we've got eyes in the sky.
Oh, great. Well, there's 2 approaches we can take with that. Approach 1 is probably the safer approach, where Rami has worked with the police and has been asked by the police to take part in this investigation, and Rami and maybe 1 or 2 other people just walk up to the house. They are working literally on a detective's request. And we just don't do or say anything that gets the Inquisition called down on our heads. Or I could go out there, fuck around, find out, and we'll have a police helicopter buzzing us in about 20 minutes.
The latter is certainly not desirable. Right, well.
Because I could bypass them or something, but if I fail, you know how that goes.
Yeah, we don't need no events with helicopters here.
So it is... Rami, what would you like? Would you like me to
I'm fine
try
with-
to bypass them, or do you...
I mean, I'm just not good at talking to people. That's all.
Well, no, you're the reason the talkers are there, and then they do the
Oh,
talking.
That's fine.
Yes,
Yeah.
your existence gives them permission to be at this house at this time.
But I mean, I guess we'd have to. Technically, we're not really supposed to be working on this, but if they get
Nobody
trouble,
does
it's
that
not
but
my
us.
fault. Yeah.
Can I do something
Oh, sorry.
weird?
Oh
Uh-oh.
God.
What are you weird?
I have an idea what you're gonna do now. I'm worried.
Can I do something
I'm
funny?
here for it,
Uh,
please, yes. Go on. Yes, and?
I've seen his face and his body. In fact, I'd say I'd taken his measurements. You think I could just change
wait,
to look
who-
like
who's
Detective
he?
Simon?
Who's he in this
Detective.
instance? The
Detective
dude-
Simon.
that's the dude that, put you on this. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
And this is the thing, just so you understand the intent, is so that like it's not weird for a cop who is on investigations to be doing investigating.
Right.
No, but the
Undercover.
issue is you don't have a badge. I guess that's the only issue.
I'm undercover, right? And I can dominate. So
Yeah, true.
you know what I'll do? I'll say I will leave it up to you, Romy. There is an easy way to do this. Mortals are susceptible. They believe what they want to. I could make myself look like the detective and then simply ask to be allowed in. We ask our questions. Or we walk in and discover another, room painted with viscera.
I'm just
But at
worried.
least the cameras would see a cop and not,
I mean, it's true, but even if you did that and like people saw the videotape, then he might get into trouble, and I don't want him to get into trouble for looking into something that he shouldn't be looking into.
All right, then. Then we just walk up to the door, then.
Sure.
The desire to change into this man is so high, but I won't. Yeah, I just, nod and say, all right, then. Who would you like your talkers to be?
The Coven are able to walk along the street with confidence, but ensure they do not draw too much attention to themselves and remain as quiet as they can, until walking up the small path to Catherine's front door on her darkened house. Who is knocking, and what are you saying?
Oh, I would think Rami was probably the best bet, just because they, are the connection to the detective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. Barry has a award-winning smile.
yes, he does. Yes,
Slips in
he
Smile of a
does.
goddamn predator.
He slips in the fucking car. That's how I'm helping.
That's
That's absolutely.
Get the earpiece in, but ooh.
Yeah, let's specifically requested Hatfield's also in the car.
I mean, Akron would
Yeah,
be
I
like,
think,
maybe Ebony, because Ebony's good at talking. But if Ebony doesn't want to
Yeah.
go, I would probably just take Akron and Barry then.
Or them. However you want to do it, but
Akron and
If,
Ebony would be like the two that I would want to take.
right, because we're not physically
Yeah.
aggressive, I guess.
It
Barry
might
would
not be
probably
a
stay
bad
in the
idea
car
for that.
unless someone
Mhm.
specifically wanted him to come.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
take
Well, I
that
mean,
then.
we all have the earpieces in, so if it's a
Mhm.
thing of like, "Hey, we need you in here right now,"
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
send
we
out
don't need the half of
fucking
the
bat signal.
coterie that looks like they're mob bruisers at this woman's house.
Might scare her for sure.
Hey,
Yeah,
don't worry
imagine
about it.
people
It's fine.
dominate. We'll be fine.
Those
Yeah,
of
yeah.
us in the car are probably like playing poker or like
Oh,
Or
I always
fish,
get a
or
deck
I
of
know,
cards
no.
on me.
go fish or something.
Alright,
You
so
know
who's
I
going
got
to
a
the
deck
front
of
door?
cards on me.
Me, Rami, and Ebony.
Woo.
Right. And you'll not, you'll knock on the door, you'll ring the bell, but you're not making too much of a noise about it. You're not doing the forceful bang 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 thing.
Yeah.
But it does take a moment for the door to be answered. The light comes on, as you can see reflected in the front door's glass window, and the door is open just a crack, and you can see there's a security chain just across the front, and there's this woman in a robe, and she looks like someone who has just been woken up in the middle of the fucking night. just peeking out. But you can see thick, curly, ginger hair hanging on her shoulders, and she's just like, "What is it? What's wrong?"
I have a question, ST. Looking
Yeah.
at the state of her, right? Does she look like she's been distraught at all? Like she found out some bad news and she's been upset about it? Or does she just look like,
I mean,
you know, tired from being...
I don't want to downplay being woken up at this time of the night, you know. I don't want to downplay that, because there's an element of distress there. But she doesn't... Outside of what you would expect for that, you know, there's nothing here that's screaming to you that she is victim of some supernatural foul play. Nothing is there for that.
Well, no.
It does not look like she just had her family exploded.
Right. No, what I specifically mean is because she was in the picture, and like, you know, you find out, even if you're no longer like with a person, if you find out they died, you know.
No, there is nothing. There's nothing screaming out to you that anything is amiss here.
Not about to.
Okay.
She does not look like she has just heard that her ex has exploded.
Yeah.
I'll tell her, don't worry. Tell her.
I was going to ask, ma'am, do you know this person?
But, you know, I also don't want to downplay the fact that she was asleep.
Yeah.
Right. I caught
what the fuck was his name again?
Julian.
Julian.
Poole.
Julian Poole?
Yeah.
Do you
Zacron want to do this?
That's what I was going to ask. Do you want to say something, Rami, first, or would you rather me or Ebony say something?
Who wants to be good cop, bad cop?
I think she would just be like, are you... What the fuck is her accent? Sorry.
Yeah. You're good.
It's just... Are you... I'm sorry.
You're fine.
My brain completely forgot her accent. There we go. Sorry. Are you Catherine Gibbs?
Yes. What's this about?
And do you know a person named Julian Poole?
Yeah, Julian, yes. What about him?
I think she like pulls out like her she has like a little badge for like her doctorate stuff, and she's like, I'm a forensic pathologist. I'm helping the police currently. Can we come in?
I think you better have, by the sound of that title. Yeah, and she'll, you know, just the door closes a brief moment and you hear the chain come off, and she opens the door, invites you into her home, and this is a completely almost opposite thing of what you just had with Julian. This house is filled with like pot plants and pictures all about the place. You know, this is the house that's, you know, it's what welcoming, especially to Acheron. You can appreciate the vibe that's going on here. And she walks you into the front room and places herself down in a sofa and opposite yourselves a seat opposite her. So what's this about? This must be urgent. Can't even focus on the clock, so let's hear it.
Well, unfortunate news. Julian has passed. But in our investigations, we were able to find a connection to you, and we were just wondering if you could answer a few questions for us.
Of course. Do you know what happened?
Well, it certainly wasn't pretty, but did you happen to know if Julian had been acting oddly as of late?
I mean, he was always...
Change in personality.
He was always a bit of an oddball anyway. That was part of his charm, you know?
I guess what I mean was,
by the way,
if
I'm using past inflictions, that is the ST's mistake. She will be using as if present. She will be using present day things. That's just my mistake as an ST. Just so we're clear on that.
Yeah. Well, what I mean more is, was there a drastic shift? You say that he was always a bit to the left, but Was there a sudden change? Was he more irritable lately, or maybe not irritable at all, but rather more lax than he normally would have been?
He was strange. He was kind, a little clingy. Talked about his exes a lot. Talked about his most recent one a lot.
Oh. I'm sorry, I don't want to pry too deeply into your personal life, but what was your connection to him? Did
We've
you date
only
for a brief
recently
time?
started dating. Only in the last couple of weeks or so, really.
Ooh. I see. Well, you said he liked to talk about his exes a lot. Was he talking about anyone recently in a manner that probably made you uncomfortable, I imagine?
I mean, kind of. I mean, there were a couple of things that would only. It was straight. He had a thing for asking me for little vials of blood. I gave him one once, and then he asked for more. How do you lose a thing like that? It was a bit weird, and he asked, and I said no after the first time. That was a bit weird.
Okay. Very strange indeed. When he asked you for the blood the first time, and you see like Akron is doing like this mimicking thing of like showing disgust at this action of like collecting another person's blood. Gross, like so it's very like performative. But they asked them, in what way did they manage to convince you to do something so? Well,
You know what it's like when you start a new thing and you're our age, in our early 30s, and apparently we're still a little bit horny when we're in our early 30s, and it's a new relationship.
I mean,
and
you look fantastic.
It's sweet, it's romantic, and it's passionate. So, yeah, I did it once.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start to see the flags. Talking about his ex. Well, I assume his ex. The guy's name was Promise. How pretentious can you get?
The guy's name was Promise.
Yeah. And Julian would talk about this place that they would go to. He wanted to take me there, but that's weird, that's ex stuff. But he was really into the idea of taking me there.
What was this place called?
Well, it's this club on Hayford Hill Lane. It's hidden away. It's all in this abandoned building. You can just walk on in, apparently, if you know where it is. But it's a super weird, exclusive thing. Literally underground. Called the Viper's Den. Cheesy, right?
Yeah, seems a bit much. Little extra.
I think he was still going there to go and see his ex. I don't know if Promise ran the place or what, but that was.
Was there well, I don't know how to put it, but an almost odd devotion to their ex, or whatever the relationship was?
I mean, you don't talk that much. You don't talk about your ex at all, let alone that much. It was very strange. I mean, he talked about a lot of his exes, but it was Promise in particular. Maybe just because the most recent. Oh, that sounds terrible. He's so nice. He is a nice man. He is genuinely kind and. And she sort of drifts off a little bit. She's in thought. It is sort of sinking in a bit. Oh, he is. He's.
I hope you don't mind me asking. This is purely for the investigation. The more we know, the better we can go about solving this. Did you, I don't know, ever notice in his language perhaps that he was trying to almost recruit or convince you when it comes to this club in particular? Maybe making promises of some kind, or using talk that maybe was a bit off.
I don't. Some guys are just like puppies. You start something new and they want to give you everything, the keys to their house. They want to talk about getting married, settling down, having kids, and you just...
It was a lot fast.
Yeah, he was a lot in a little time. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and it was a lot. I was trying. We are when she doesn't know what to say. It's it's just this sudden.
Acheron is very takes on this very good cop type of thing, and I understand truly. It's difficult relationships. You say he was nice. There was never a moment that you felt unsafe, or
that was... like I said, he was quirky. And the red flags were only for relationship. He seemed like such a great normal guy,
Yes. Had you intentions of breaking things off?
No,
Okay.
No.
Have you ever met Promise in real life? Or just heard about him?
It always just... everything was from Julian.
Right. Promise. Well, I don't know if you two have anything else you'd like to ask, but I think I've gotten plenty for us to work with.
Did Julian give any descriptions of the location or Promise?
He's always talking about him in the club. It was always in that club.
Do you have any idea what they look like?
No, I wasn't interested. It wasn't anything personal. It was just...
Yeah.
Right. Of course. When he spoke about Promise at the club, was there a specific thing he would say? A specific activity that he was trying to get you to join in on?
He just said it was liberating and he could just let himself go. It was really nice, He did seem like he would keep things to himself. Things would be pent up. I suppose being nice would do that sometimes, You can't... You got to have an outlet, and I guess his was the club.
Well, I am sorry for your loss, madam. Even though it was brand new, still awful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me, I'll see you out.
Of course. Thank you. Well, if the other two don't have anything to... she'll... yeah.
I think we got everything we're going to get out of this lady.
And you'll be able to go back into the car and link up with the coterie. And unless there is a conversation you would like to have at this point. Anyone?
I think it was just once we're in the car, it's like you guys heard everything on the earpieces, so it's very so what do we think?
I think we gotta go to the Viper's Den.
Yeah, I think
we have to go meet Promise.
Yep.
So what's with the blood thing?
Do we want to take bets on if Promise is kindred or not?
I was gonna say, do you want to bet if they are what clan they are? That's all.
Ooh.
They are Setites.
Oh, fair.
Maybe thin blood.
Or
conflict.
thin blood. They
Oh.
do know.
Wait a
they
minute.
do know alchemy.
Mm.
That would be fun.
Well, interestingly enough, they were trying to collect this woman's blood, bring them back in vials.
Apparently, they got at
Which
least one.
Yes, but doesn't that seem a bit strange to you?
You know,
It is.
if
Because
she suddenly explodes, let's just keep that in mind.
You know, he kind of sounded like a ghoul being tasked to do something.
Mm.
He seemed pretty
Yes.
obsessed.
Her blood
ST,
may have had a certain dyscrasia to it,
Hmm.
or she might be infected for all we fucking know.
Well, but that's exactly what I mean, right? So if it had a certain flavor, right, and Julian was tasked to bring samples, eventually the kindred is going to do the work themselves, come and get their victim. You know, there would be no need to stand on pretense,
And about
right?
so just workshopping that idea about how Acheron, if you had your eyes on a mortal, about how long would you wait before going and getting what you want in person?
Oh, it really depends what I want them for. But if it's just for Vitae, I can get that to work within the week.
But if you wanted to work with them like one whittles wood.
Oh, well, I don't stand on pretense for that sort of thing. I'd get them immediately.
Oh dear, okay, noted.
On my side, I'd say a couple weeks.
Oh,
It
instantly
really depends. It really depends. What am I harvesting? You know, if I'm just, you know, I need a few hairs or something like that, that's, you know, I'll come in the night and just take a few hairs and leave them be. But if I need deeper things done, then, well, you know, looking for a special tour or something.
But you wouldn't wait long.
We are running with
There
this
would be no need to.
this thing.
Go
Then
ahead, Hatfield.
why would he be exploded?
Well, so I was going to get to that actually. So, SC, quick question. Because I was doing that research on like rituals and fucking there's the blood boiling thing and all that stuff. I know that some blood sorcery like requires you to have the blood of the person that you are, almost like a voodoo doll kind of thing. Like it requires you to have the vitae of the person you're doing the thing on. Do I get the vibe that this is sort of a similar situation that you know, maybe in theory, maybe
At least in theory, it's possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think Acheron like shares that with the group of like, you know, he only wanted vials of her blood, and once he had the one, then sent Julian to get more from her. I wonder if perhaps, well, very similar to the plague, you use the blood of a mortal, insert it perhaps into another mortal, and then you get to work.
And then he explodes?
It's
Maybe
quite possible. Blood sorcery is an interesting science.
Maybe he just wasn't useful anymore.
You know, if somebody's not useful anymore, there's less flashy ways to get rid of them than popping them like a balloon.
That's fair.
Right. So the Setites have little baby blood magic. And if you were a returned Tremere Primogen and you found out that over the last couple of years, people may have turned to Setites for their blood sorcery needs, and you were trying to get back into the game, the first thing you'd do is blow a couple fuckers up to remind everybody who's Big Chungus.
So you think it was
Yes,
the
I
Tremere
mean,
Primogen?
I mean, that's the only suspect we got with a motive other than just blowing people up for kicks. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it could be promise, but the motive is definitely there. Plus, Tremere, this guy's tower, these guys are anarchs. Fuck it, blow them up. Who gives a shit?
But
we
he's
could find other.
I have a motive, but like,
Yeah. Well, if that guy was a ghoul, he's blowing up pawns. He's not just killing people. He's taking pieces on the board. Now,
This
we could
seems so
find...
risky to do something that aggressive and then just leave it. The police were involved.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they let it go, but
Yes, but you do have to understand, Setites are different from other anarchs. Their beliefs, kind of... It's why they operate the way that they do. They are all about corruption. They're all about, quite frankly, the long game, which is why it makes this scenario so strange for the Setites. Like if it's not for a specific reason why they're blowing up Julian, and these other victims, it's not really the Setite style. They would be more like want to reel you in and keep you for a long time.
Shiv. Is Shiv there?
Yes, he is. He is.
I don't know. Shiv, are you
Okay,
there?
sorry.
Oh, okay.
I can't see you, so I was like, uh-oh.
Same.
If I look at, take a minute, take a step back, look at when the date that Tremere Primogen returned compared to the date people started blowing up based on what the cop said, how close are those dates? Is it like Tremere Primogen's back?
They are very
2 days
closely
later?
They line up. That would line up.
Let us not forget, some of the Banu Hakim have went missing as well.
And the Tremere hate whom? Well, everybody, but the Banu Hakim in particular would be gunning for this man.
Absolutely.
So...
taking out the team, taking out competition.
Yeah. Yep. Now, granted, blowing these people up might very well be sanctioned. We're not there for meetings and things. But if not, if he's just blowing up people that might be a former Banu Hakim, they might not take very kindly to that.
Well, that's why you would then pin it on the Setites.
Yep. So...
Setites are anarch. So it doesn't look like the Tremere Primogen of the Camarilla is doing anything. It looks like the Setites are getting too big for their britches and trying to encroach on territory.
Yes.
Being too loud.
So, definitely to be included in the report to the Banu Hakim, I think, potentially. And they can draw what conclusions they like. I'm sure they'd love to have a leg to stand on against the re-emerging Tremere, even if it is fleeting. Even if he's innocent, it's not a good look.
It is not. You know who hated Tremere more than my clan?
The Tremere?
That is fair, but Mithras was not a fan. In fact, he didn't allow them in the city.
Smart man, honestly.
Yes, he was. But because of that, I imagine should things get a little sticky for us, well, we have the Banu Hakim on our side. And the tower... I don't think the tower would disagree. Should we have to make any extra moves in order to keep the SI from getting involved? Because this will get messy and it will get loud. If people just keep exploding across the city.
Oh yes, no, this is definitely something that we can take to not only the Banu Hakim Primogen, but probably Pandora herself. So that people above our pay grade can make decisions that will affect us. So we're not just pulling the trigger on shit and hoping.
Yes. Well, we could leave you to that then. To pass that information along to Pandora. You seem to be her favorite.
I do, don't I?
Well,
I have tasted her more than others.
I really wish you'd word that different.
Yeah, a little. Just a little.
Okay, guys. You're making it weird. I'm saying
That's not fair. You're... Okay.
I mean, we're kindred. Everything's kind of weird.
Yeah, what the
Agreed. We don't have to say it like that.
You're right. I placed my mouth up. It's not better. Not better. My bond is deeper. No, that's romantic now. See, I can't. I'm damned if I do, or I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you can't
kindred.
win on this one.
Everything's weird.
I've exchanged
Right, so-
feelings. I can't do it. I can't make it work.
No.
Fireman.
I think you know what. I think if we stick with the original, that's the way to go. So, on the list of things to do, would we like to head to the Banu Hakim first, divulge the information that we have, give our evidence for what's been handled so far, and then maybe perhaps with the blessing of Pandora, check out the Viper's Den, or should we wait?
Well,
I think switch that.
I agree with Slip. I think maybe since we're Pandora's coterie, probably best if we check in with Pandora before we check in with anyone else.
Yeah, and she will either green light or red light us sharing that information with the Banu Hakim. It may benefit her more to have that card closer to her chest than us place it on the table for her.
Alright then. We'll do it your way.
We don't want to be the helpful coterie that gets in our way.
Yeah, so Pandora, then Banu Hakim, then we go to the Viper's Den. If we just want to be, politically safe, cover our asses.
Given the state of things, that's probably the best move.
Yes, because if this is a tower person taking out these targets, we don't want to be pawns making moves on a rook. God forbid. So we tell the queen, see what she thinks. Then we tell the bishop, see what he thinks. Then, if we are allowed, we move our piece.
All right then.
Boring
settled.
maybe, but safe.
And on that note, we will bring an end to this week's Oxford's Ashes. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for coming and playing. This week, we will go in order of most likely to want a bacon sandwich by the time I say the end of this sentence, starting with Hatfield. Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi, before you finished the sentence, I was already waving because I knew it would be me. I want a bacon sandwich now. Hi, I'm Daybreakathon. You can find me, sometimes over on my channel on Twitch, Daybreakathon, where I stream games, whatever I feel like playing, whenever I have the ability to play them. Lately, it's been a lot of Project Zomboid. It's been a lot of fun. I have also written a couple of fantasy novels. You can find those by clicking on the links in the place where the links go, and definitely check those out. I worked very hard on them. I also did the character art for the characters who have art. My commissions are open if you'd like me to do some art for you as well. I am here and now at the Vampire Times as Hatfield, and the Shadowrun times when that happens, I'm Mojave. Good stuff, good times.
More to come as well
think...
for you, Hatfield.
Yeah. And with all that said, I hear my dog snuffling. He says hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi, puppers.
Ebony, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I'm now hungry for a bacon sandwich and tired and unaware of where I am.
It's a rough order.
Brain dead. I am Softonomicon. I am on every social media and obviously here on Twitch as in Softonomicon. Here on Fridays, I normally play Ebony of Clan Ventru. On Mondays, I normally run the Shadowrun game Run the Flood with some of my lovely friends here. I have my own personal channel where normally I do artwork and video games. We have good times over there. A lot of dick jokes, a lot of tentacle jokes. It's always fun. As an artist, my commissions are open. And I have a Patreon where I'm making a coloring book that is the Periodic Table of Monsters. I'm very tired. I am Shiv's hedgehog husband, and I love everyone here, and I will see y'all in about a month as I'm about to go on a hiatus, which means our Shadowrun game is going to be on a hiatus, and Ebony will not be on Oxford for about a month. So I love everybody, especially Shiv.
Slip, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I have been known to do things from time to time. I stream variety on my own channel, middle of the week. We were trying Dying Light 2, but the game's a little scuffed, so we're playing Bannerlord lately. Monday I'm here, it's T103, except for the next couple weeks. Fridays I'm here as Mr. Big Slip of Clan Nosferatu. That's what I do. It's me.
Yeah, don't play it. It's good fun time at your streams. Good fun time. You're very interactive with the chat, and you're a very funny person. And you can actually,
Thank you.
one of the redemptions on your channel is bringing Slip out, and so you can have a bit of Slip play if you so wish.
Yep, and Slip does play the games a little differently than I do, I'll tell you.
It's true.
Yeah. Acheron, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Yes, hello. I do things. Right. This is what I do. I do TTRPGs. I'm here at Table of Horrors. On Mondays, I am Morningstar in our Shadowrun game. I am very excited for when it comes back, so you can get back up into the chaos, into the mix. And then obviously I'm here on Fridays as Acheron, but there are things in the future, so keep your eyes out. You get to see some more fun stuff we'll be up to. I'm also part of Lanyap Gaming. Right now we are on a sort of like posting content hiatus, but we are also like actively recording behind the scenes, so content will be out soon, probably towards the endish of summer. We are looking at around probably just after Gen Con, so keep an eye out for that. If you are interested in seeing our past stuff, we have Lanyap Gaming on YouTube, and all of our VODs and stuff are up there. I have spicy links, so if you're into that sort of thing, look in my links and you'll find it there. All I ask is that you be respectful, or else.
Rami, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Okay, first of all, I don't like bacon on sandwiches. It's weird. But I'm Space. Hi. I'm on Twitter and Twitch at SpaceIsRain. On Twitch, I'm a frog VTuber. I lately have been playing Zelda and some horror games, like Decarnation, which just came out recently. I might be playing Party Hard, which is a game where you are a next-door neighbor to someone who throws really loud parties, and so you go into their house and you just kill everybody. You're a serial killer. It's a really, really fun game. I stream Sunday to Thursday between 12 and 3 p.m. EST, and then I'm here. Because I'm here. Hi.
Lovely. Barry, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am not Scavian. I play Jason on Mondays except for this month. And then I play Barry on Fridays on Table of Horror. And I have friends who write books, such as our very own Daybreakathon, who has written Wind Swept and Wordbreaker. You should read Wordbreaker first, followed by Wind Swept, the opposite order in which I introduced them. And then I have another friend who writes a book called Obelisk the Long Dream.
Lovely. You can check out the links down below, and the ones that are in chat for link to our Discord, past episodes up on YouTube, past audio-only versions up on Anchor, and I think it's on Spotify and Google Podcasts as well automatically, and YouTube at Table of Horrors. We've also got a couple of bits of merch. I've fiddled with the merch store. There's some more new merch. Some of the stuff is being discontinued. Check it out if you so want. Don't have to. Wanna? We will go a raid-in on, I think it's pronounced Crowley, who are playing Vampire the Masquerade. But of course, we can't go legally, morally, objectively until Barry says the line.
Stay a while and listen.